मैं बोल नहीं रहा कुछ काम कर रहा था. For online Kasha GG yes. Streamer was off. Wait. Setup नहीं करा. आ गया. Stop. Stop गया.
Alright, welcome guys. Today we're gonna do G vs FS map veto. So FS won the skirmish and they're picking their side.
Team B.
Team B. Alright, then G bans the first map.
I'm not gonna do it to you.
I guess.
Ban Lotus.
Lotus. Alright. Then FS bans.
Ascent.
Ascent is banned as well. And GE picks the first map.
Split.
Alright. And the side for split, please.
Defense.
Okay, then your map pick.
Breeze.
Breeze. And the side for Breeze, please.
Attack.
Attack. We have Fracture, Haven and Pearl left. GE bans first.
I ban Fracture.
Fracture is banned. We have Haven and Pearl left, and you guys are banning.
Yeah. You ban Haven.
Alright, the sider is Pearl and GE picks the side.
Pick attack.
Okay, so quick recap. We start with split, FS defense. Then we have Breeze, GE attacks, and if we have Pearl, GE attacks. Everything correct? Alright, good luck guys.
I'm sure there are a lot more mind games going on, but friendly ones, and Cruz has learned a little bit from the last times he did a map veto, Sliggy.
Yeah, for sure. I think he was like he kind of at least acted like he was expecting the split, but then there was like a pause after, so like I'm not entirely sure he thought that the split was actually going to come in. I love their faces after delivering the map picks, so that was good, because they picked the opposites, right?
Yeah, the interesting thing is the last time they played, it was Full Sense picking the opposite map. It's like they picked each other's opposite maps, so the mind games already are going in crazy.
Well, the last time they faced off, Full Sense won 2-0, but we know Frost knows Cruz so well, and he can possibly outread him and possibly outdo Primi. We'll have to wait and see who's going to stay in the game for London. We have high expectations from global esports, the misfits of Pacific, with everything to prove.
솔직히 부담감이 없을 수는 없고 부담감이 있긴 한데 프로게이머로서 가장 보람된 순간? 사람들이 되게 많은 경기장에서 게임을 한다는 게 그래도 최대한 게임에 집중하고
We've been calling him Yudo time the whole game. We might have to change it to Himdo time. The guy is just taking over.
실수 안 하려고 노력하면은 잘 할 수 있을 것 같아서
ข้ามแพ้แล้วเพราะเราไม่มีโอกาสแล้วมีโอกาสแค่รอบสุดท้ายครับผมคือว่าเราต้องแก้ข้อผิดพลาดอะไรอย่างนี้แล้วก็ขอให้สนุกครับผม
당연히 풀센서면 떠오르는 게
Primi,
it's Primi.
the best player at this tournament.
저번에 호치민에서도 풀센서를 상대했을 때 프리미가 되게 압도적인 경기력으로 저희를 그냥 삭삭 해버려서 이번에는 똑같은 실수를 반복하지 않으려고 저희가
ถ้าเจอใครก็ได้หมดเลยครับไม่กลัวก็คือทำของผมให้ดีที่สุดแล้วก็โฟกัสไปเรื่อยๆครับผมก็คือชิวๆเลยครับ
풀센스 이번 런던에서는 조심해야 될 거예요.
I will talk
ครั้ง
about
นี้นะ
it.
รอดูผมได้เลย
मैं बात
It's the
करता हूँ.
Primi Show Birth
मैं कॉल नहीं कर सकता. अच्छा चल बढ़िया.
Real bad boy, man, a G to the end.
G! It's globally hot versus Full Sense!
Bigger than wrestler. Gal in the front going on extra. Some of them calm, some of them extra. Mosh pit crew holding the center. Big long beard, big black temper.
Welcome to VCT Pacific! Oh wait, no, we are in Masters London. Correction. action there. This is the very first time Pacific has sent 3 Southeast Asian teams to the global stage. It's not just Paper X this time around, and the world needs to see what these 2 teams can bring to the table. Now we got Sliggy here at the desk with us. You've been pretty hyped about Full Sense. How are you feeling about them today?
Oh, after what I saw last time, I need a good start here. I need to see a pistol. I really want them to take this first map.
Yeah, I echo that completely. I think that Full Sense are probably going to come in. I think that they're going to have a game plan. They're going to set out those first 5 rounds, and that's what I saw last time when they played Split. There were some very weird tactics going on early on the Split. It looked like they had massive reads, and those mind games were in full effect.
We just saw Primi mention it was Primi time in that promo. We need to see Primi time in the server here today. Let's not forget, Full Sense with a roster that sent PRX down to that lower bracket regionally. When we consider how they performed back in Pacific, they need to be able to blow out against Global Esports today if they want to progress through this Masters London.
But Coach Frost is part of this team in a weird way. He has been part of the process of putting this Full Sense core together. He brought Primi in, he looked for Killua, he knows them so well. So when you have 2 teams who can read each other like this, it's really hard to say who's going to come out on top.
And not only that, when you consider Global Esports, we kind of hinted at it earlier on, they managed to push Lev to 3 maps. So yes, you have that familiarity. You also have Global Esports that have gone away and probably prepped coming into today. We've spoken about how great they are when it comes to those anti-strats.
I think for me, Global Esports obviously look like they're in better form, but for me, it's about whether Full Sense build up the confidence. The fact that they're playing against people that they know, I think, is an advantage for them, because they're not going to be as scared on the stage today. And I hope that if they do win today, that they don't go back to what we saw last time they played.
That's like the one benefit of having the regional matchups. If you have a team that is like a little scared and you go like, oh, we've beaten this team before, we can do this, and then you get that momentum going forward. So yeah, I'm hoping for a lot better from Full Sense.
Absolutely, and I think that's why we're finally seeing all the matches today go the distance, because they know each other so well. They're so much more comfortable facing each other. They know all the tells, all the reasons. At this point, it's trying to outsmart each other and play their best game. Now, we have some players here who are here for the very first time on a global stage, the first time we're having a full Thai squad in years. We also have our sole Australian representative in the form of Autumn coming to the stage. He was formerly from CN, so we're seeing a lot of players come back together on the stage.
I think you mentioned something really important here, a lot of young players. We used to bring up the narrative of this young player is crumbling a little bit, and then it didn't happen for a long time, but now we're starting to see it again. So I'm excited again to see if it just continues throughout the whole of this event.
The interesting thing to me is that Patman is literally a tournament winner. He won that Toronto trophy, and I saw a little bit of doubt in his play last time. I think that he said that he's got the ego now to play at this tournament in the way that he should, but maybe Sliggy pointing out that at times a little bit too much. So I need to see a more balanced path today for Global Esports to take this victory.
Yeah, that's right. And with this agent comp coming out right now, I mean, at this point, they already know each other's game. I think it makes a huge difference if Primi steps up. I think, is it fair to say, in terms of firepower, Full Sense is definitely on top?
I mean, normally.
Normally, yes.
Normally, yes. But here, maybe, oh, who knows?
We will have to wait and see. All right, to kick off VCT Pacific, it's not Seth, it's Tom and Mitch.
Thank you so much,
Clinton?
Victoria. Yeah, indeed, we've got our own paper thing here at least. Look, it's a pleasure to get to see these Pacific teams down on our stage here in London, but a shame that for one of them, it will be the last. Full Sense versus GE. And Tom, in terms of this matchup, it seems like Sliggy's lost a little bit of his confidence in Full Sense, but he wants to see them come out with a strong start. Hard to know, though, which map could favor which team, considering how the veto went last time they played.
Yeah, the fact they've come in and picked each other's choice, it kind of tells you the game of chess that's being played. Maybe both teams trying to switch up the veto and ending in the same place, at least for the first couple of maps, which of course, last time out, Full Sense won both. The wall up, over the wall already. Looking to try and make that fast play into the A site. And with a very late lurk that will eventually come in from Crystal, a post plant looks very likely indeed.
Plant for sure, but no ramp control when that comes in. Full Sense are already scaling down that ramp. Primi's found his first. The Sage Wall still in play means Crystal's going to take a while. This pace from Avi down. Crystal breaks through that wall at last. The spike being tapped to fight up top. The Crystal expects. He's done a wonderful job already. Stuck down Premi, and he won't find anymore. A Red Bull clutch from the man who was late to the party.
Thinking back to the last series as well, that first map was where Crystal was incredible. Like, he started the series off with a bang, and I think it's going to be very important that that's the same case, because I was already getting flashbacks to the last time these teams play, where Premi just goes, oh yeah, I'm better than these guys. I'm just going to run around and just rack them. So to shut that down early. It's also worth noting as well that although GE are coming in with, I think, the exact same comp they ran last time, it is a change-up for FullSense. They brought in the Sage. They moved Jit Boys off of that secondary duelist. I think he was on the Raze last time out. So clearly, even though they didn't pick this map, FullSense still expected it to come through.
Well, defense pushes on both sides, and now they've got the reward. Autumn surrounded and dealt with. It's at least a Marshall picked up for the defensive side.
ओए स्ट्रेच पे चल रहा है स्ट्रेच बंद करना
स्ट्रेच पे चल रहा है
going their way here seem very slim.
लगा मेरे को
Spread themselves too thin.
अबे क्या
Playing with those two on the site regardless of who's taking the fight.
तूने पढ़ा मैंने देखो
clearing out B main and
हाँ पढ़ा मैं उसके जवाब दूंगा तेरे को बाद में
मैं जस्ट हाँ वही उसके बाद में
तू काम करना जा विनी के साथ बैठ और कमेंट्री करो तूने
कर ड्रैग कर उसको
it definitely makes things a little bit more difficult for G, a little bit more dangerous.
Oh my god, start ho gaya match.
आप late हो.
Losing something even if a player goes down. There's the
हाँ
first
एक
to
match
be
हो
lost.
गया
It's
ना.
only
एक राउंड नहीं अभी पहला ही राउंड हुआ है.
Yeah, I think that
पहला
was
मैच
just an attempt to
First match है ना.
maybe catch an all ball too.
मैं भी सो रहा था.
In this case,
प्रोडक्ट का मैसेज आया.
अरे मेरे पापा का बर्थडे है ना तो.
Opportunities, and I think that's the right call to make.
खेल रही आज जी.
Maring the next round where FullSense come in with the buy, and I think it is a very interesting talking point. Going back to this matchup from last time out, obviously it was a very close match towards the end of the Pacific stage, and especially on this map in particular. It does, well, even on Breeze, I think going into Breeze, there was a lot who would have thought the G were favored, but it just came down to some of that individual mechanics. Someone like Premi being able to take over rounds that he had no right winning. I think overall, my sort of thought process is that G might be a better team. It's just if he's going to run riot once again as one of the most mechanically gifted players we have in the scene right now. And in fact, some people putting him
Chat नहीं दिख रहा क्या?
He wants a chance of really claiming that title. Have to make it further than this. A victory over GE needed. The start not looking good. GE make it to the B site, fight through the smoke, land the opening pick.
Batman को खेलना पड़ेगा.
And avoid going any further. There was a mistake if they kept stepping forward, but now the walls blocked Premi off.
Spike planted.
And Autumn is in a position that I will say is rarely cleared, but he's about to walk right into Jit Boys. Now they know. The element of surprise no longer there. The Poison Orb put in a very unusual position, but that has garnered GE flank control. They'll keep B main. For FullSense to fight through, especially with the time where it's at, they've decided that they're just going to save. A 5v4 full save.
It's the time and having an operator with no shields. Like, it basically would just be like, okay, is someone going to give Premi a fight, or are we just going to hold on to that gun into the next round? And for GE economically, this is maybe the best start you could ever hope for. You win the first 3 rounds, and the only players you're actually going to lose are ones that still have weaker weapons and are going to go hunting, going to go running in to try and remove some of the weaponry on the other side. And there you go. Harvey takes a kill and even gets away with the gun.
What the fuck?
This is a great round for GE.
Yeah, I mean, that really was the cherry on top at the end for GE.
Paid
A 3-0 start usually means that you're going to run away with the half. Obviously, for FullSense, still saving weapons. They'll be able to buy up, they'll be able to fight for this round, but not in a very convincing way. I mean, even now, you're taking a look, if they play with those rifles, you're going to have 2 players without shields.
I don't think I ever see people really do it.
Hey, actually playing without shields?
I think maybe you have like Vukash who does it every once in a while, where he's like the hero who just has a rifle with no shields, but especially like there's a decent chance that somebody on the other side has an outlaw.
Toxin screen down.
They don't, but I guess just having the confidence in Premi to maybe take over the round, and that's a great start. Already eliminating the lurker on that A side of the map, it means that the amount of control is already gone and the pace needs to be picked up now from GE.
पागल जैसे खेल रहे हैं भाई.
Instead, they fight towards the numbers, but it's worked out at least to start. Lua will contain that space, has help if needed from Leviathan down below. But in the end, they have to give up Heaven. GE, Again, running into the numbers there, they've gotten very lucky with that pick through the smoke. They've spotted Leviathan up close as well, and all the while, Patman was working the control. He'll fall, but Udatan keeping it competitive, rolling in their favor, and with a res there, man advantage now locked in for GE. The pick is needed for Full Sense. That was a chance. Without it being
Oh my god!
you have to hope that someone
on fire.
GE is going to step out of line, give them a way back into this site.
Already pushing back towards the spawn, but
Guys, G in the chat.
And now stuck in the corner is Crystal, but again, he seems to be on fire at the moment. Cruz doesn't even know that there's a wraparound coming in from behind. His position seeming dead to right.
What a shot! Oh my god, Crystal.
That risky purchase alongside the same weaponry hasn't paid off. And again, we're seeing a great attack side half coming out from GE, which back to the game versus Leviathan. It was exactly the same. Their attack side was great.
Well, they did just play into the hands of Full Sense there. We had one player grabbing the pick outside of Edge.
Yes, nice shot.
Much more heavily reinforced. 2 players in heaven, 1 on the B site, 1 in Vents, ready to strike. GE, they play mid because they lose their flank. They push forward. The Coinbase win condition for Full Sense was having the players in the right position at the right time. And they got unlucky to lose one to the spam. I'll give them that for sure. But GE finding a 4-0 leg up, stealing that round out in the end, dealing with the save with 4 players, grabbing an upgraded weapon as well. Position for the attack side. And for Full Sense, they're pretty much faced into an eco. This is going to go from bad to worse for the defense.
starting के matches देखे gold silver जैसा खेल रहे थे.
And at that stage, you're 5-0 down with GE being able to buy and buy and buy as you win rounds.
Thailand
This half is getting out of control.
Yeah, you can kind of understand as well why this map was actually picked out by GE. The last time they lost it was 13-11. And it was a 7-5 defense coming out for Full Sense. So right now they are already on the back burner, on the back foot. Of course, we don't expect the game to be identical within its score lines, but I don't think they're going to be over the moon with the way that this has started. You can see Autumn going straight in for that Outlaw. You can understand why. A chance for potential freebies. And the only real danger in that round, well, I feel like I'm being a dead horse. It's Primi again.
So far, it has been Primi. I think he's got the same kills as the rest of the team combined. A lot of it coming from the pistol. It's been quiet on the defensive side for the first 4 rounds.
Primi ने रुला था Thailand वाले matches
any better here. A couple of kills from Primi could certainly help the situation. GE are stepping in to his turf. Here we go. Blade Storm. Oh, he's
let's go.
A bold play indeed. He thought he could isolate the Outlaw up close, but there was more than enough backup there for GE.
I think they were very ready for that. After the last round push-up, where Autumn gets caught alone and they have to try and react to it, they have 2 players supporting him, ready for the swing. And after they've pulled the rotation all the way over to the A site, they now walk into a site that only has Jit Boys in it. Now, he does still have a full belt of utility, but it's how much you really want to invest going into this round. There's the wall. So they are going to have to break that immediately. That will sound the alarm for the rest of the defenders.
Still another slow.
I don't think that slow actually stopped them at all. I think it was a little bit shallow.
Yeah, it let them out of the choke. So they're able to fight around the side.
Nice shot.
Boys, okay.
Oh my god, crazy entry.
भाई रुला entry तो मिल गई but उनका comeback retake भाई रुला दिया भाई.
Shouldn't have even been close, Tom, but this is the light in the dark for the defensive side somehow.
Yeah, evidently he did buy enough time, but I'm surprised because it seemed like he did. A MasterCard thrifty is the way that Full Sense get onto the board. And I'm not sure if what was said is Cruz
starting में aggressive नहीं करेगा
Primi. But I'm not sure this was the round they even expected to break back. Just those quick rotations eventually coming through.
End matches में मार
And then just everybody on their side landed their shots. Finally, Full Sense have made it onto the board.
Primi यार अच्छा खेलता है but
that operator is going to be
तो मार भी अच्छा रहा है ना सब लोग.
And we see if GE have a response.
Yeah, we thought Primi with his Blade Storm would be the main reason they won the round. And he did leave Udoton down to 1 hit by the Sheriff, which meant he couldn't fire a showstopper, so the impact was there. But it was everybody else. Great defense by Jit Boys as well, buying that extra time, as you said. first round found, but it means nothing unless we can back it up with another. As we said, GE, they're going to be buying and buying again. The defensive side needs to have a lot of solutions up their sleeve. Last round worked. This one, it's a start from Primi. Having down and out of the round right away.
Jet
They're
open.
fleeing. Spikes being
No,
taken
no,
to the
no,
other side of the map. Not a ton of control there for GE, but from what we can see at FullSense, they've left the B side open, taking the main instead. I thought Autumn would take a bit longer before showing his hand.
Not particularly pretty. The mid-ball buying time having to be broken.
Bro! What the fuck?
Crystal able to turn things back again. The positioning though.
Leviathan.
Although we saw a big clutch in round number 1 from Crystal, this one definitely feels an awful lot tougher. And although their credits are still in an okay position, it's whether or not he wants to gamble the gun here.
Well, I don't think he gets a choice. There's a fight coming his way. He's just about made it around, but now they've seen him. Now they know exactly where Crystal is. And saving this weapon. With 15 seconds on the clock and plenty more after it ticks away. And they're slowing him so he can't even make it out. A fight is needed. Crystal, 7-1 right now, popping the reload and ready for another fight, but I don't think they'll throw their operator at this one. If he tucks in, that weapon is going to be his for the next round, saving not just the gun, but his KD as well, making it look a little better. But 4-2, FullSense are definitely climbing back into this despite a bit more of a blow being dealt there than it looked like.
Yeah, I think Crystal will actually be very happy with that. You get to keep your weapon. Credits-wise, you're in a pretty good position to still buy into this round. And you've reduced the economy of your opponents without really having to move. I will say, I think that's going to be one of the easier kills for Primi today. I think also it becomes a bit awkward because we know that GE love to have that sort of sage wall dissection off one of the angles when pushing in towards the A site. Maybe they're going to pick up the pace a little bit here. I've already seen that operator push down mid instead. And although they've sent it early, if they go walking back, they might end up in a bit of trouble. This is a dirty angle from Primi.
No, it's going to be given up now. For GE, let's take a listen in with the comms in this round.
Just jump pick first. Might be picking. You do we stay first.
I don't see. I'm go Prowler. Please smoke.
Oh, maybe not up here. Maybe not up here. Okay. Hey, they're rotating. Jet B7, I'm gonna smoke you. Go now, Saba. Go now, Saba. Jet B7, guys. Target towards ramp. Yeah, but.
Fallout Sun.
Guys, need to move fast. They will.
Ready, I will run and I will ult side, okay?
Yeah.
The gas is coming down.
They walled something, guys. I don't know what.
They walled like heaven.
I need to smoke city. I'm smoking city now. Go. I smoke elbow, I mean. It covers elbow.
They're waiting for the Nightfall to come in. That's going to reveal Kahlua for sure, but he's got support, and that slow buys all the time FullSense need. No chance for G to scale on the back of the ultimate. 30 seconds now to make it to the site. They've got to up the pace. They thought they'd find an easier A site, less heavily defended, but they were dead wrong. They're just dead. GeForce locking down heaven, and it is a clean and clinical round.
Entry बंद कर दिया सेज ने तो उनका.
That was all him as well. They go rotating into a site that ultimately is the less heavier stacked of the two. Again, another round you can basically put down to his utility. The wall blocking up top, the slow, forcing them into an awkward position, and then even just breaking a gap in the walls and spamming shots.
पीछे से बंद हुई क्या stream?
It's too good.
Into the faces of opponents. It's compositional change for Jit Boys is putting him right at the top of the board alongside Primi, and you could already see the G having to take a pause, maybe to adapt to that one agent change.
Well, they made the call there. We heard it in the listen-in, the rotation back to the A site. They saw the rotates to B. They thought it was going to be more heavily defended, but man, when they hit into that A site, the slow stops the play. And any idea, any notion of walking into A, which already Kahlua was on site, Jit Boys was in heaven. It was going to be a tough fight anyways, but now it became impossible. And the change of direction just led them right into the rotates of FullSense, right into Jit Boys, who, yeah, I mean, that first shot through the wall was a little ridiculous. I don't think he had any intention of killing someone with it. But they created the opportunities, capitalized on them, and now GE with a 4-0 start. They crushed the economy of FullSense as well. That should have been 5-0, but they find themselves contested very early on.
Yeah, that round 5 might come back to bite them. Of course, that was one of the issues it felt like G had on their own defensive side in this map, was sometimes playing ahead of a lot of that Sage utility. I think that's what JetBoys is doing excellently. He is just using that utility to create awkward scenarios. And that looked panicky from G. And again, when it's your map choice, even if both of you are happy to play it, you don't want to be looking panicky from a 4-0 up position.
Orb up from Cruz. He's going to stick around. There's no free passage for GE. They are looking to fight for this. The only problem is, look at Full Sense's setup. It's not like you just have one player up in heaven. No, we've got three. Two ready to fight, and one holding a Paranoia. The second that they step into Cruz angle, Paranoia is coming. Well, not when he stood there, but when he stood here.
If you want to know how confident they are in JetBoys Sage, he is solo A. They have 3 heaven, and then they have 1 operator on the B side, and instead, it seems like they've got the perfect read. G walking straight into a stacked up heaven. That's where they might be set fairly soon this time. It's Kahlua, who's just destroyed them on entry. That wasn't an eco, that was a full buy investment, and they have just been slaughtered.
Again, for GE, when it comes
blind
to...
कर दे तो
करे थे उसने blind करे हुआ नहीं blind.
Where they want to blitz in.
थोड़ा
There's always something waiting on the other side. Last round, in a couple, it's been
हाँ Batman ने करा था.
For Full Sense. Seen the wall from Sage, but this time around, it's the Paranoia.
कभी नहीं किया था.
करा.
Full Sense knew what they were facing into.
Oh, what?
वो blind हुआ नहीं.
What the hell?
It stopped GE from
वो
pushing
side
up
से
the
चले गया blind.
Possible to avoid. And up on top of the wall, I think JetBoys got spotted. Okay, there's the pick for Patman for GE.
I think as well, Patman has the read that. Okay, if JetBoys is here, no one else is. He immediately TPs up.
That's cool.
Cruz under pressure, but Kahlua already getting rid of Autumn. Autumn's been having a rough time so far, but Patman's impact in this round cannot be understated. Getting rid of the man atop the wall, taking over the spawn control and still battling for it. It does, however, send them towards Primi. Kahlua on another. It is everybody stepping up for Full Sense. And all that is left is Yudotan facing off against his rival duelist, and he will manage to win. That leaves Skeps in the plant. His opponent starting to wrap around from heaven. It's a little bit disjointed, but it's not going to work out. I think he hit the headshot through the wall, but Kahlua survives on 25 HP.
Couple really big rounds from Kahlua as well, and Full Sense showing up across the board. It was a very slow start to this defensive side, but they've very much figured it out now, and you can see GE struggling to come up with solutions. Again, we've seen those A hits. They've tried to push and pull the rotates. They've tried to fight from mid, and even in this round, they successfully fight from mid. They shut down JetBoys, who's been a problem for their attack side pace.
वो जिताएगा.
But it's not enough.
आता उसको खेलने.
1 round in the lead. The first to hit 5 is Full Sense, and GE, even after the timeout,
विनीत जी आपके stream पीछे चल गया क्या?
हाँ थोड़ी सी डील है कुछ seconds.
Live पे click कर दो.
Early mid control going to be challenged.
नहीं जो match वाली है.
नहीं वो तो बराबर है.
They've been changing the setup on the defense almost every single round. Whenever you're trying to predict or counter what they're doing, it has been different. Primi's been everywhere. JetBoy's been everywhere.
No,
Hello, by his own teammate.
Oh.
But the heal's there for Primi to be right back up.
Hello.
That control has been taken,
I'm learning German next.
More so.
Nice.
Just as a protocol for GE, just to remove the eyes on that side, but when they still have JetBoys peeking, and now what? That operator they saw moments ago, it's sat on A.
This Paranoia has caused issues for GE before. Once this wall comes in, it could do again, but the TP to backside from Patman.
Okay.
Reconsider. Leviathan just backs out. They give them the plant, and that's very dangerous in this round. The Viper's pit will make this a very tough retake. Again, this is the pit we're seeing most often put in, and coming from spawn is almost impossible. They do have the man advantage. GE have the terrain.
Noise, it was too good, bhai.
On their side.
Another heal for Primi. He's going to have taken well over 200 damage in this round, but it doesn't matter. He's still standing.
You can talk to.
They even have a res available on either side. Showstopper as well, if necessary. And it might just be Patman already cleared. They're going to need someone to step up on the G side, and it is Yudotan, but he's eliminated eventually. Back down to just 1. Primi to try and turn it, and he's managed to get rid of Autumn. But that time is now ticking.
Okay, Xavier ka crazy flick.
Sure. Full Sense hit 5 first, but GE fight right back.
Carefully.
That was the decision to give up that B site to let the pick go down, but I thought Full Sense might have the leg up with that pick right there. Catching the flank, dealing with a lot of the win condition for this GE side, but Udaton right here, more than worth his salt. That double just made sure that the pick couldn't be pushed from both sides. Bought that little bit of extra time, and well, time was of the essence in the end. 10 rounds in, and we're neck and neck. Full Sense, they fought their way back, but now GE have a solution.
Spike down
A bit more. Well, that's the res gone.
Oh dear. This is what happened last time. This was the guy that is going to end up on the most wanted list for GE fans because Primi just seems to have a vendetta against them. A headshot through, he's coming over the top. Autumn just about dodges the bullet, but there's a second player right alongside him. And while Crystal, he might have the spike planted, but that was the only silver lining in this round. Full Sense will take the lead again.
I mean, this was just Primi's round from the get-go. Ridiculous kill to open us up. Then Patman tries to recover lost ground, flank the up. Nope, he's looking at you. You're gone as well.
What the hell is
and even
happening,
in the end,
bro?
on the site, he's the one jumping in, firing the up, so they think, oh, I'll swing out and deal with him then while he's cocking that bolt back. But he's got 3 teammates swinging alongside him. Very nice stuff for Full Sense. Again, this team, ridiculous.
I don't even think he shot at the guy that was shooting.
No.
He just picked an angle.
That's one way to get around on the board.
Hey, भाई कितना irritating है भाई.
Left to play for in this half. Full Sense looked like they weren't even going to get started, but somehow they could be leaving with the lead.
Well, you can see the difference. Them versus their regional rivals. Against people that, if you look at the coaching staff, they probably even called family at a time. They are feeling comfortable. Trades back immediately. It's turned into a game of deathmatch in middle. And while Cruz has gone unchecked, just hiding, lurking within the darkness, and everything's coming up for Full Sense in this moment.
नीचे क्यों गया शाना?
A res available, but
कितना ज्ञान दे
an
रहे
option to even res. It's whether or not he can even get out of this position.
Let's
I
go,
don't think he
bro.
Maybe he can, and he can heal himself back up as well.
देखा तूने?
The res won't be possible there, but
देखा तूने दो?
in B main.
कौन सा वाला?
So we end up back into a 3v3.
तेज वाला?
That's a little bit of a mistake from Full Sense. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite them. They've
ये
still
सुला
got
देता है
Primi
भाई
holding the
कभी
cross,
कभी तो.
but the first
वो
shot doesn't
कैप्टन है पता है
land.
इनका.
He's a little late on the second as well. They've made it through. They've avoided the main danger, at least for now, but Primi's waiting for another chance. He misses a second time. This could be the downfall of him. The shorty's out though. Primi survives that little bit longer. He's going for a long-range shot.
दो shot back to back. What the fuck? दो shot है क्या?
And 20 seconds as he swaps over to the rifle. Crystal flees. A path will be found here.
Crystal का easy pick था वो.
Position that Crystal decides to play from will be everything.
He now needs
Spike planted.
to outmaneuver Primi. He's not going to beat him on reaction time, and the problem is he's so low on HP that it just has to be that he picks the right spot, and he is quick enough on the trigger. The problem is, for Crystal, there's not a great place to stand. He's picked a bit of an off-angle corner, but again, timing is everything. Primi could have gone in any direction, and it just depends if he looks at the right way, but Primi not checking initially, but then will turn back around from 4-0 down. Full Sense are going to turn this half into a victory, and just like last time, they go in 7-5.
Now we thought that GE would be 5-0 up. They end on that scoreline, end on 5 for Full Sense. This has got to feel remarkable. They were shut out consistently.
भाई बेचारे किलवा को तो रुला दिया भाई.
To have a 2-round lead, now they move to their attack side. Confidence at an all-time high for this squad. And Primi, well, he is certainly leading the charge. 17-5. GE have got some ground to make up when we come back in here from what should have been a commanding lead. And well, it's been great to see them down on this stage here at Masters London. They brought some fans with them. In fact, I've heard Frankie is standing by with Autumn's parents.
If you thought it was hard being a fan of these players, imagine being a parent. Tanya, you were basically giving me commentary during that round. You watched all of your son's games. What are your thoughts on the half so far?
We do watch every game. We've never missed one since he was in India, China, and now Pacific. Look, I think they can come back. Yeah.
Wayne, what do you think? Do you believe in your son?
Oh, absolutely.
ऐसा कोई बंदा है जो Valorant के account सेल करता है. हाँ, Discord join कर लो, उधर पूछ लो
They'll
किसी
come
से.
back second half.
पता है ना stream पे ये सब बातें नहीं
having the
करते.
belief of your parents. I mean, it must be a big thing, Autumn, knowing that your parents are watching on the sidelines, right? I wish I could talk to you about this, but I'm going to talk to you, Tanya, instead.
ऐसा
What did
पूछा
you say
करो
to your
कुछ
son
भी.
before
Hi,
this
Gary.
game?
Just go for it. I know he'll bring
Account
it like
buying
he
and
always
selling.
does, and I believe
Illegal.
in him. We believe in him and GE.
I know you do, but finally, for you, Wayne, what's it like seeing your son on an international stage
I
again?
Autumn के parents.
Nerve-wracking. I think we're all racked with nerves right now. Let's get into the second half.
Well, it might be GE's pick, but it might as well be Full Sense's. In
Bad
this
luck
veto,
to
Tom,
that.
I don't think there's a clear winner or loser.
Late
That's
हो गई ना
decided
match,
on the
stream
server.
story
And for
कुछ भी
Full
नहीं देगा.
Sense, after the first couple of rounds, it was looking like a clear
वो देखो
decision,
देख
a
Thor क्या
clear-cut
लिख रहा है
series,
chat.
but they have fought their way, not back into the map, but into the lead.
I think you could just look at the sort of body language
Shut
of the
up!
Full Sense players in comparison to their first game.
ये moderator है तेरा.
It's like we know these guys. Look at the coach.
इसी काम करेंगे हाँ
Cruz
यार
is
कैसे
just having
बात
a great
करते
time. He
हैं.
was singing halfway through that game. It just has a different feel when they play against that regional rival. One, as it was, I think Sliggy was saying it, they've beaten before. It's just a different ball game altogether. And for GE, well, losing 7 of the last 8 rounds.
मैं नहीं बात कर रही उससे.
Sure, they're going to feel comfortable going into Breeze. This is another map that you go back to Pacific and they've been fantastic on. But I'm now starting to almost look at the man. Can they beat the players on the other side? Is the map almost irrelevant?
That's exactly it. It's a big confidence builder playing against the regional matchup. Playing on familiar turf, even so far from home.
Let's go.
GE on the defense now.
Okay.
It was a stellar start. That stellar start's all that really remains.
किसी काम का तो ऐसे कुछ भी बोलेगा तू. बेइज्जती करेगा मेरी.
4-0 to
ऐसे ही
7-5
बोला
the
ऐसे
pistol
नहीं
to
बोला.
put them right back
बुरा मत
in
मान.
punching distance. Full Sense have found control of the A site and a plant, even coming in for Heaven as well. They've got so
कोई
much control, so why not
moderator
late
समझेगा
playing as
कैसे
well
main
from
account से.
Leviathan. This could be a problem for GE. They're only now making it to screens.
That's the scary thing, is they were looking for this. But it's been so far
बच्ची
behind
यार
that
guys
I
बस
think
सीख
Autumn
रही
is
हो ना.
checking it instead.
भाई वो कैसे push कर रहे हैं.
Even still trading evenly.
भागे जा रहे direct.
But now
हाँ ना.
Autumn has to sort of
कूद
either
के.
make a decision to try and check for that flank. It's clear that it's in their mind, but timing is the main thing. The second he drops down is a problem,
Let's
but
go,
while
let's
he
go.
does, he's caught out Primi. Even still though, Leviathan has been holding on to this upper spot, but
Let's
Autumn will
go,
hit the shot
Autumn.
इसको मार दे
anyway.
यार इसको
It's
मार
another
दे.
मार
pistol
दिया मार दिया.
under
तुम्हारा
the
पीछे
belts
चल रहा है
of
भाई.
GE,
नहीं,
and maybe they'll
refresh
have a
करो.
strong start to this
हाँ,
second
मार
half
दिया.
as well.
Oh, that
Refresh
might
करो.
help the nerves down there
हम
in the
पीछे
audience,
चल रहे हैं.
maybe even on the stage as well. 2 pistols needed for GE to keep this competitive in the early days of half number 2. And they've done a wonderful job, as you said. That flank looked like it was going to be the end of the round. But it's the fact that Autumn finds the kill and the player down below, saving the round. And then, as soon as the smoke blooms and the plant is for Heaven, you kind of know what you're facing off against. So they
Hi,
group up
Blueberry.
and take the fight
Namaste.
together. Much needed pistol secured. And this should be the easy work, but Full Sense were doing decent. In fact, they found their first round on a buy that was not pretty. There was a couple of pistols and a blade storm that only was there for damage. But now they're on the attack. This is where the pistols can group up, can be very scary. For now, at least, it's farming those orbs up. If you can have the res online for your first full buy, it's going to be a huge safety net for you.
Heat भी
They've
खत्म हो गया
decided
इसका.
against pushing all the way around to A. 110. A little bit of mid-control for them, but I like what GE are doing here, Tom. It's so passive from this squad. They've walled off B Heaven, and now they're just playing as many ranged fights as they can.
But क्यों नहीं देख रहे भाई?
There.
Down, they've not invested as many credits into this, so if you're a G fan, you want to keep this nice and clean. Crystal looking to get up close, of course. Getting towards that Nightfall would be nice, and already it's going to get rid of Primi.
Woo! Nice.
I think that second orb is being taken, so you mentioned it. They've got...
And then ended up going down. Look, that is about as good of a round for an eco as you're usually gonna hope for. Kills don't often come your way.
भाई बैटमैन मार रहा है आज.
The only one landed on the important match. So a success for the attack side in terms of their goals in the previous round. But again, this is where it matters.
अब सारी मैच ऐसे ही निकाल दे अच्छी सारे rounds.
For a second there, I saw the op on the attack side, no shields on Cruz, and I was wondering what would.
तो आज की stream सफल हो जाएगी.
Again, early slow.
Actually,
knowing that there's weaker weapons, they want to try and deny that control. I like the re-pressure, but there was a player waiting further back with a paranoia on the attack, just to make sure that his teammates were covered. And has been spotted. Autumn, one of the rifles under serious pressure. He's just going to have to try and play within the utility, and after you get seized, there's nowhere to go. They even expect Udaton flanking. Of course, risks are going to be taken in this sort of round, and well, a rifle left behind, but they will hold on strong.
Yeah, nicely done by Full Sense. No res needed in this
mid
round.
पे क्या हुआ भाई?
They get out of there with a lot still on the table, but when you look at what they were up against, G had 2 Bulldogs, and then it went to SMGs. I think it's certainly a forgivable round for the defensive side. Usually we see players or teams even coming into this bonus round with like 3, maybe 4 rifles. I'm not even talking Bulldogs, I'm talking Phantoms. But they went for that lighter buy so that this round could be theirs. Both teams getting out of this early half, kind of what they want. A 2-1 as expected. The res online for Full Sense, the economy decent for G, as they now get a really strong full buy. Everything that they want is in play. But a win for Full Sense here just really gives them the chance to skyrocket into the lead on this attack side. They hit that double digits. And he's got another through the smoke.
The spams from Jitboys have been on, and
I
think Primi was even thinking about going through the Viper utility, but once you get an opener like that, there really isn't a need to. You know that G are going to have to try and switch up their positioning. Wall being broken. And just look at the full gamble. You can understand it from Global Esports. Like you're in a position where if you try and spread out across the map, the chance of victory is low. But also, the chance of you losing all your weaponry is very, very high. Whereas in this standpoint, either you get a full stack, or you keep your guns. Well, that's the hope, at least. Cruz is trying to sell a ruse, not realizing that, of course, there's not going to be anybody on this B site anyway. But of course, they've got to be as diligent as ever. And that 9th round is all but guaranteed.
Oh, they're giving Primi the wall. The timing on that was nice, so he can jump up and take early heaven fights, but again, no one's there. We saw this very similar scenario unfold earlier where Full Sense were on the defensive side. They called for that 4-man save. They only got out with 3 of the rifles. And G having to do the same thing, they put all their eggs in one basket after losing the opening fight. And again, kind of an unlucky fight for Udaton to just get spammed through the smoke like that. And that's enough for them to say, hey, listen, let's not throw the weapons at a negative win rate round.
पहले देखी थी थाईलैंड वाले तब भी हार गए.
Give Full Sense that 9-7. Because you lose that 4v5 retake, like we said, Eco next, Full Sense on 10. And then things get very, very spooky.
अबे ये क्या था?
Then all the ultimate start coming online as well, so it genuinely does just get into that almost domino effect.
ये क्या round था?
The worry, though, is that
I'm not
Full Sense have now built up a pretty hefty economy in the first few rounds of this half, and we get to really see that true combo breaker to what was that streak. Sure, the pistol in second round felt like it could be a bit of a momentum shift, but right back on the horse go Full Sense. And sure, when we look back to the last time these two teams played, it was their choice, but if you pick this as Global Esports, the expectation is you take it home.
G have changed up the setup now. 2 players waiting on A high-low in play as well. Yudaton and Javi are going to wait for contact and hope to take them down. You've got good utility to fire in for slowing them down as well. Obviously, the entire utility belt at Sage. Yudaton with the nade as well. But this high-low setup does have weaknesses. The rifle for Javi, but Yudaton only has that Sheriff. Late round, full sense do come towards him, but the shots don't land, at least not to start. Yudaton's down. Javi taking a lot of damage. He's not put the wall just yet. I think they're going to try to fight this on ramp. No, in fact, wall goes down a little later. Just waiting for the utility to come through. Spam's back have done a ton.
And if anything, it feels like an advantage at this stage. And with how much spam damage there's been, you can understand now the hesitation for Full Sense to push into this. You've seen a snake bite. You've seen the slows. Now you've even heard a haunt. You know there's 3 players
बोला था प्रीमी को
on this
अरे यार
side of the
बट
map, while still having that man
अच्छा
advantage.
खेल रहा है,
That's the
ज़्यादा
thing.
ही अच्छा
Like, you
खेल रहा है
look
भाई।
at Patman's position and it's great.
Irritated
but
हो
he
रहा है
has
मेरे
to
को
get,
इससे।
not even maybe just 1, even 2. If he doesn't get jit boys, there's a res. So it really is. He has to just go
Bro,
ham here,
this
and
guy.
then know he's there. Primi sent him first, head ripped off, and now the rest are just scrambling to try and get into position.
They've cleared the site, not even a shot fired towards Primi. They know that they've got control. Plant needs to come through, and it will. Going towards default, Heaven control held to allow that to happen.
Spike planted.
And again, GE now facing into a 2v5. Well, they saved in the 4v5 when money was low. Now money's a little bit better than it was by a couple hundred credits. And they're in a 2v5. The call is to save. But this time, Full Sense say, you know what, we've got a little bit of extra cash in the bank, and we've got a couple orbs missing as well. So why not send out at least Cruz to try to catch them? Kalua wants to get in on the action as well. So there's no way to get out of this A site now, and the walls will slowly close in on them. Crystals know exactly where the last man is, and Autumn's on 10. For Full Sense, they reached the same 10 rounds and done flawlessly. These last couple have looked clean as well.
It was just the realization. And as I said, it put Patman in a horrible position where it is basically like, it almost felt like he either needed to get to one of them being Jit Boys, or he needed just almost to get everybody. And instead, it's just Primi running around the corner and getting his 20th kill of the map. Having a fantastic game, but it's not just been him. Killer has been fantastic. Jit Boys, like, I think his stats are almost misleading. The amount of impact he's had with that Sage has been impressive, and considering, I almost feel like that was them picking it up to do what GE were trying to do.
It's a literal table.
10-7.
ये रूम जब बनाया था तो कुछ ना कुछ चाहिए था रूम में रखने के लिए, उसको बनवा के दिया था,
losing a lot of those
कपड़े
openers,
क्रॉप टॉप्स, छोटे-छोटे कपड़े.
Risks. And well, for Full Sense, considering they have lost both pistols, even losing a bonus round, and they still sit 3 rounds in the lead, this is going to have to be one hell of a speech coming out from Frost to install some faith, because right now I'm not on board that they're going to turn this around.
Well, yeah, it's been 6-0 in the early halves put together.
कर रहा है भाई ये खेलना कुछ तो खेल.
At this point, you need a miracle to turn this around.
पागल हो गई मैं guys, पागल हो गई.
It's not just the fact that
कोई क्लिक नहीं करेगा
ahead. It's not just the fact that their economy is absolutely stacked. It's the fact that the last couple of rounds have not been small mistakes from GE winning or losing it. It's been Full Sense dominating them.
Yeah.
There's times where they run at them. Again, since the start of the half, basically, we've been like, well, at least if the initial fight goes bad, they've got that res to work with. They even farmed the orbs early for that purpose. They haven't needed it.
Okay.
Got the shell.
Yudaton with the operator. An opportunity, but I'm just thinking back to the last series he had. He was impressive. Luckily, Crystal.
Good season.
He's done well, but Primi is just better at this point.
Bro, this guy.
And there is that red. We said it. It's been waiting there for a long time. Cruz maybe even was willing to take the risk just to be the one to try and
Bro.
Primi.
GG लग रहा.
It does just feel like he goes into a match versus G and just goes, I know I'm going to do well. Like, every fight he's taking, squeaky clean. And for the remaining 3, again, a mass deficit. There hasn't been a retake that's been even throughout this game.
Iron का count नहीं
So
है
far,
यार
hasn't
मेरे
been a retake
पास.
from GE. They've been saving every time.
There have been plants.
There have, yeah.
ये
Not
सब नहीं
even
बोलते
a
stream पे
shot
पता है
fired
ना?
afterwards most of the time. for GE,
नहीं तो कुछ पूछ रहा था
look, your
खेलने
flank's
के
just
लिए.
been spotted. It's a 5v3. I hate to say it, but we might have to save again.
Hi Vijay.
And it looks like they're making the same call. Fleeing once more.
Good, how are you?
It's not a good look. We've had pauses with no changes.
हमें
We've had
गुस्सा आ
the
रहा है भाई.
defensive side having to call for 4 versus 5, 2 versus 5, and now a 3 versus 5 save. This time at least they're allowed to carry their weapons forward, because I think it took Full Sense a while to realize, wait, they're actually not going for this.
It has been half of
They're
saves,
from Bangalore. Oh my god.
considering this is elimination on the line. A chance for Full Sense to do the double over GE. Student maybe becoming the master. And to be honest, at this point, I want to see some life in global esports. These rounds have been too comfortable. Like the lowest credit player, I think, has 7,200 credits over on the Full Sense side.
Third Discord
Which is because no one is dying. Like that's the point where we're at. It's not even can G win a round, it's can they get some kills.
Jesus, 2022.
At
Nice.
least there's no res online this time, but Primmy's one away from the Blade Storm. The ult's in fact more stacked towards G for now, and they do still have the operator in play. It has to be now though.
I mean, Primmy just being alive scares me more than most players with their Blade Storm. In Full Sense, looking to chip away at some mid-control. Crystal's the man standing on that line. We'll take it. Very big blow to start this off. As shields all come back on, Rez is there for.
भाई कैसे भागते हैं भाई zombies की तरह ये लोग.
Otherwise, he would already be out of this round.
थोड़ा सा sound दे दे वो लोग तो.
Decay fading on Full Sense as they wait out in mid. They got pushed back. The ult comes through, and they're happy to just sit and wait, assuming that GE will close in on the flank, will push forward, but 30 seconds on the clock, it's time to make a move now.
But that is the one good thing, is that ult saved a lot of additional time. Primmy looks almost ready and set to try and just make a play through this smoke. Somebody on the other side ready and waiting, just watching for him, but again they get both kills! They're running out of a smoke, and it just still looks so easy.
Nice.
15 seconds, Autumn has to try and hold the line, but that 1-2 punch of Chip Boys and Primmy is just unstoppable. 2 standing. At this point, I almost want to see them go for it just so they don't save again. I don't want to say the word.
This could be a save call. Oh!
You guys don't want me to watch.
Showing them the up. They're not going to let him away with that. Primmy
Nice!
down, loses his life. But in the meantime, Full Sense have cast a wide net, mid and flank covered here towards A main. Udaton has at least one more fight in him if he wants to get out with this operator. At least it seems like it.
It feels like the most exciting part of the round is whether or not the G player gets to save.
That's been most of the round.
It's so depressing. Like, Udaton. There's also just an aspect of, do they care if he saves the gun? They've had so many buys in a row at this point. And
looking.
They're going to try and take the gun out of his hand. Consolation frag, maybe? No. 12-7. 5 in a row now for Full Sense. And honestly, the only surprising thing that's happened in this round is that Primmy did actually die.
Remember when this started? It was 3 kills for Primmy in the pistol. Crystal bounced right back with his own, won the pistol out, and we thought, okay, Primmy has some competition. Nope. No, he doesn't. There's no one else fighting for that title here today, at least not on map number 1. 5 chances for Full Sense to close a game out that at the start it looked like they didn't even turn up to play. This has been one hell of a turnaround from this squad, losing both pistols in a streak of rounds in the first half. And here they are, conceding next to nothing afterwards.
FS wale.
They initially set up with 2 players. In fact, the 2 most expensive weapons were at this corner. There's the Prowler, there's the response. Hey, it looked like he should have. How's Cruz alive? He's being healed back up. I was so confused. It must have been a leg shot. Patman trying to be the hero.
Nice.
Push into the spawn, audacious. A 3v3 is maybe the best scenario we've seen in a long
Can
time. The
we
TP
get this
behind, it's
round?
aggressive from Patman.
Oh my god. W
Batman
round.
for the reason.
To try and close out what would be an almost
मारता है रे
perfect
Batman.
Oh, मैंने बहुत अच्छा मारा
Got to try
भाई.
and go around the wall. They know exactly where he is.
खेलने
Slows
पे आता है
thrown
तो
out,
मारता
needs an
है.
isolated fight, and finally G have found something. An 8th round onto
क्यों
the
भाई?
board after a massive hiatus.
He's so unlucky not to get away with that.
Teammate sorry.
I'm sure Cruz fell in the end. This is it. It was a paranoia in the TP, catching both players. That's what gave them the way back in. And for GE, they need to do it 4 more times. The team that, didn't they say 4 times in a row? If I'm not mistaken.
क्या comeback हो सकता है?
Well, if it wasn't 4 in a row, it was 4 out of 5. Looking at that timeline. This is the second round that they found outside of the starts to a half. There's still plenty of work to be done. I like the boost from Jip Boys here. Haven't tried it so far. Crystals, not going to fall for that one.
Good teammate to shoot it, but yeah, I think
Grimwall feel हो गया
maybe realizing that something's up and
विनिदी क्या comeback होगा?
he now sat on the wall of his own.
Yes.
His teammate.
Let's see.
Likely to be the first point of contact, the Prowler. Give them information that somebody's there, but they're almost trying to bait the deeper player. Might not get caught. The Primi operator, not something we've seen so much from on the attack. Might just throw a spanner into the works.
Uditon's not in the best position to use this op. Going back up through vents would be a death sentence, and they know that they're there now, but Crystal can't get out of this corner. The show's
भाई दो ले गया.
दो ले गया. इसको प्रीमी को मार दे बस निकल जाएगा. इसको ऑफ चला जाएगा ना.
निकाल लेगा क्रिस्टल इसको.
And GE, man advantage to work with. They've slowed the play.
नहीं Pat.
Oh my god.
W Pat man W.
Well, for now.
Unexpected.
Oh, okay. A warning shot from Leviathan.
3v2 है, हो जाएगा.
Holding the angle. There's not a lot of time left. And almost manages to find something.
Nicole.
Instead, he's quickly got a double and somehow made this one a reality. Autumn rotating from the other side of the map. He'll have himself a post plant once again. Autumn to try and keep them alive.
विनिदी लिख रहा है अगर comeback हो गया तो 200 रुपए
throughout
super
the
chat.
entirety of the map. Looking for the man up top. The timing slightly away from him. Would have to listen for the drop anyway, so that might just give him an opportunity to re-clear while that time ticks away. His opponent just waiting for him to give an angle, waiting for him to make a mistake, but Premier's just sitting in this corner, using the time to his advantage, not expecting his opponent to push.
Oh my god, let's go.
Autumn ने मारा है चाटा.
Chat, let's go. Comeback होने वाला है. Chat, let's go.
Once more.
भाई
नहीं होगा क्या नहीं होगा.
crazy
bus
plays.
भाई.
कौन लिख रहा नहीं
सब
होगा?
क्या रहा है यार ये?
Narrow margin, but GE just about
ये cute है.
make it through.
Autumn GG भाई.
Small heartbeat visible from
Good
this
job
squad.
भाई Autumn. Good job
Think
भाई.
about this round. Patman getting away with one down below and the double that came through from Uditon. The fact that it ends up in a 1v1.
Rudo ने भी सही निकाल लिया उधर 2 kills.
3 more in a row needed. And Primi on 27 and 10. It does feel like it's just a matter of time before GE slip.
Yeah, the good thing though for GE is the more rounds that go by, even if they're close, even if it's clutching, even if it feels like maybe it should be going the other way, the more that go by, the more the pressure will mount onto ForSense. They've been laughing, jovial, feeling confident. GE are now starting to win a couple of rounds back. Res for either side, a lot of ults.
Shadows traveling.
Building up.
Viper versus Viper.
After what has been a lot of A hits in a row, it seems like they're going for B.
Yeah, the B play going through. Late lurk attempted by Cruz, wants to get into that pit, and he's chosen his time just right. Those players in main don't need to push out anymore. They want to rely on this space taken by Cruz. He's used the pit as a smoke to cross into vents. That's a big problem now. Full Sense are going to re-gear up for this A hit. And on GE, you have to know it's a possibility. You can see how cautious they're being in re-clearing into heaven. They're even putting the boombot through. Don't think it's going to make it to clear Cruz, though. They could see where it went, but if that information has slipped by, they're in big trouble, and indeed it has. Udaton's being caught completely unaware. Jip boys, she's on the backside. They know exactly where they are.
knife out you. Fuck.
The round is done. 13-9. Full sense.
भाई ये तो थ्रो करा भाई last round full भाई.
My God, they showed up in the buy rounds.
Yeah, in the buy rounds, it really just felt like they ran away with it.
क्या
Primi
लेते हैं?
doing it in style once again, and it's safe to say GE need to reset after the break.
क्या लिखते हैं चैट? ये फर्स्ट मैच था?
हाँ first था. Best of 3 है.
ये फर्स्ट था या सेकंड था?
पहला मैच था. आवाज नहीं आ रही क्या?
अरे ये चालू था.
ओह.
गुस्सा आ रहा है भाई मुझे. और बताओ चैट क्या था?
The time to write the next chapter in the esports history books is finally here.
And they fold it in his hands yet again. Steps up to the plate, and he could knock this one out of the park. They shall be engraved alongside.
एक नहीं जीतेगा, दो जीतेगा. बैक टू बैक अभी नेक्स्ट सारे मैचेस जीतेगा.
मेरे को डबल गुस्सा आ रहा.
गलती से किसी और अकाउंट में डाल दिया है. स्ट्रीम का गलत इस पे डाल दिया गलती से. जीतेगा यार. बी पॉजिटिव चैट.
मोमेंट नहीं आ रहा. कोई सीन नहीं सीख जाएगा.
Tired of off-season blues once Champs is over? Fear not, because Valorant is coming to the Esports Nations Cup, where players split from their clubs and compete for national pride. Will EMEA turn every round into a chess match? Is Brazil about to turn every map into ranked? Will Team USA ego peak every single angle? The final event of the year is not to be missed. Esports Nations Cup 2026. See you in November.
कीबोर्ड खराब हो गया. नया लेना पड़ेगा. कीबोर्ड
अब भी बेसिकली और कुछ
भाई. 1000 रुपए में थोड़ी आएगा बढ़िया सब कोई कीबोर्ड.
शायद लाइक कर दो. जी जीतेगा ना. जी एक जीता तो आप मुझे 2.5 केवी की भेज दोगे. मेरी शादी हो रही है यहाँ पे.
भाई ऐसे तो मैं लाइन में हूँ सबसे पहले.
भाई
तो देखना पड़ेगा यार. इंडिया का मेरे को आइडिया नहीं. पूछ के बताता हूँ.
Hi Shadow. Fall Guys नहीं राज वैल्यू होगा. Oh my god. Hi Kiwi. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Please यार राज में बहुत ज़्यादा. एक मिनट ना मैं कुछ कर रही हूँ. Hello Kiwi. Welcome to the stream.
ये KVFPS रियल वाली है.
Love give. Now. Yes. Hi Chen. How are you doing? I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Bam.
शायद लाइक
Here
कर
would
दो.
coach the full sense. The
पापा को मैं
Primi,
शूज
but
गिफ्ट करने
two
वाली
boys
थी
on
बट
the
उन्होंने.
stage. Why?
เพราะว่าคิดว่ามี IQ play ที่สูงครับแล้วก็น้องชอบเล่นเศษชอบพวกเล่นตัวที่ใช้สกิลเยอะๆอะไรครับแล้วก็น้องฉลาดครับก็เลยให้น้องเล่นตัวเศษครับผม
Simply just because Jit Boys has such high IQ, he's a great Sage player, and this character, this agent, really is just really suitable for him. So yeah, that's why I made the decision.
Great call and thank you.
Welcome back. It definitely was a great call by Full Sense with the new comp looking really good, still winning split against Global Esports. We're seeing a very different Full Sense come in today. This is the Full Sense we wanted to see against Foot. This was the Primi we wanted to see pop off against Foot. So it's crazy it's happening now against their brothers on the other side of Global Esports. And Minnie, we were talking a bit about the mind games between these two teams, and we are really not exaggerating when we say these two teams, Cruz and Frost, know each other so well, and you can see the mind games come through even in round one.
Yeah, it started off right off the bat. It almost looked like Global knew that Full Sense were playing the Sage somehow and decided to do an interesting strategy where like they basically ended up walling over it.
Yeah, in fact, let's check out our Verizon high-speed moment. It was so good, we had to show you guys.
Yeah, so here we see Crystal throwing a little bit of a fake towards the B side of the map, making noise there, baiting out the Sage wall from Full Sense on the A side of the map. We see it there. And then you see Full Sense's rotation across. Beautiful call here from Global. And then Global on the other side are going to use the fact that they got the Sage themselves to wall boost over. And then they get the A site completely for free. Red carpet site for them. The mind games came in early, but what really impressed me was that Full Sense, despite going down, despite not having momentum into this game, pulled it back. I was extremely worried for them. I thought that with the lack of confidence we saw in the last game, I thought that going 4-0 down would have been a death sentence for them, but good to see that they picked it up afterwards.
And I think it's unfortunate if you're Global Esports, because you could see those really good ideas coming out on the pistol rounds. Obviously, an improvement from what we saw previously. And as you mentioned, Minnie, being able to get that kind of lead in the beginning, but Full Sense just finding this unleashed confidence, I think.
Yeah, and Primi is the guy that we've been highlighting leading up into this Masters London event, and then he did really show up the other day, but today, with this op, I think he held on his op for so many rounds, just destroying people.
10 rounds he had the operator throughout this game, which is kind of crazy, and I think I agree. We've been waiting to see Primi time. He said it himself throughout that trailer as well, and I think that the fact that he bought that operator from round 3, I believe it was, glass cannon operator, no shields, just shows the confidence that they're having, which is what we asked for from them coming into today.
Yeah, Full Sense Global couldn't get a sense for the puzzle that Full Sense had. It was either go to the Sage on one side or Premi on the other, and they couldn't figure out what to do there. So great game plan here from Full Sense.
Yeah, and the man who ended up coaching Cruz was Frost. In fact, let's see what Frost had to say about all that.
Here with Frost of GE. Frost started out as 4-0, couldn't quite close it out. Do you guys feel like you were giving Primi too much respect, or was it the comp change from Full Sense?
I don't actually think it was any of those. I think it's a byproduct of us thinking maybe that our individual skill is going to win us the game in rounds, and we're also not listening to each other when we communicate. There was a lot of fumbles with someone says something and then somebody does something else, so it's just unlucky.
Right, hopefully things get better. Thank you so much. And back to the game we go.
I mean, unlucky is one way to put it, which is Frost's favorite way to put it. But global sports is always looking their strongest when they are sticking to the plan. You cannot play separately when you're going against a team like Full Sense, where you have so many cracked aimers. You cannot win that alone.
Yeah, I think that what Frost is saying may be correct, but I do think that the fact that Premi is there and the Sage is there, it's a lot harder to deal with those things once the operator is online, the Sage wall is online. I think that some of that nerves, some of the not listening, that happens when game plans break down a little bit. So I do think there is a combination of things there.
And it's almost worrying because we are in the global stage and fundamentals slipping away like that. And in a very important match too, let's not forget the loser here will be eliminated from Masters London, not being able to continue through this Swiss or even make it to playoffs. And I think it's worrying now because, of course, we're going on to Breeze. We're going on to Full Sense's map pick here in this BO3. And let's not forget, Full Sense dominated GE last time they played on this map specifically.
They have two very different approaches to this map. You can see it here in their comps with double Senti versus
Oh, no, they changed.
Oh, they
Boys
changed it, yes.
taking off of Neon duty. He is not being good on the Neon in this tournament. Their solution is, Jit Boys, let's just play the Sage. Interesting idea. The Sage is designed to slow down the opponent, and Jit Boys did look good on their last map. A similar strategy, perhaps, of do you want to go into the Sage, or are you going to go into Primi? If Primi can get that up online early, that is another chess match for Global to figure out here.
Well, Big Time must be so delighted right now. When he was with us during that Full Sense match, he was raving, hyping up the Sage on these maps. So this is going to be really exciting going through, and we can see that Full Sense is on an absolute momentum right now. This is an elimination match, though. Can Global Esports bring it to a series as we send it back to our casters, Mitch and Tom?
Well, now it becomes real. You heard from Frost, they just got a bit unlucky. Well, one more time they can get unlucky, and that will be it. Out of the contention, the playoffs, out of the run here in London. And for GE, it starts on the attack side. I do like the changes from Full Sense, though. That Neon was not working, and now it's on GE to make it work with Yuditan, who had a bit of a tough previous map.
Yeah, for sure. I think he has a tough map quite often when he plays against Full Sense, but we'll have to see if that's a running theme. Already, though, a better start. Pistol round, Primi to trade. Klua waiting on the angle, but it's Primi once again, a one-man army that somehow still seems to be alive, but they are trading out everybody else. They just can't kill Primi. It's been the issue throughout the entirety of this so far, and now the rotation looks to come in from Cruz. Crystal again in a pistol round clutch to try and bring it home, and of course, who else but Primi will be the one to take the pistol for Full Sense.
I've always found it a cop-out, man, when we look at teams and someone goes, that's the guy, you know? There's so much more going on behind the scenes to make things work. But with Primi, I got nothing, man. He is just unbelievable every time he's tested. He comes in like he's been studying all week for it. That's a 4K, one-upping his opening pistol in this series. And finding the win this time around. I guess this was what was missing. He has to kill the vast majority of the team, not just most.
It must be funny to coach a player like Primi, because it almost feels like half of what he's doing is just off feeling. So you don't want to tell him not to do the things he's doing, especially when he gets away with it as much as he does. 4-0 up already. If the first map wasn't already his playground, and well, there's his fifth kill. He wasn't happy that he didn't get the ace in the last one, so he's going to kick things off onto Autumn, who is, of course, the player that was probably most dangerous in one, having that headhunter.
Now, if Primi keeps this up, we're going into the bonus round with a Blade Storm.
I like how you said if.
Yeah, there's always a chance. I saw him have like a single bad round on the last map, so.
Did you? I didn't spot that one.
It was where he only killed one person.
Ah, okay.
It was a very weak performance. A Sage Wall going in, a minute or so left on the clock. This has gone up just as GE round the corner. That might run that clock down a little more, but will at least give an orb over to Crystal. And as they chip away at that wall, it's very obvious to Full Sense where the play is coming through. Chance for the Blade Storm. For Primi, Jit Boys has taken all of his kills, but there it is. Yuditan left it. What? Oh, come on! He's smiling along! Primi! It's only the second round, man. Take it easy.
It's like watching someone making a montage. Like, genuinely, it's like they're the guys who used to do like 360 no-scope montages, except he's just doing it on the master stage. It's just filthy. Like, it's going to be so depressing being on the other side of watching that guy have so much fun.
Oh, it's disgusting.
At your expense. 2-0, 2 rounds in.
Keep up.
Something tells me Primi's not slowing down. Hey, you guess what? Crazy. He has got his Blade Storm.
Yeah, 7 kills will do that for you.
The thing is, their buy in this round isn't good. It's a very, very weak bonus round. But I'm still nervous.
A little bit less nervous now, but Primi's still drawing breath. Luckily, he's on the wrong side of the map. The hit should be coming in elsewhere. Bit of mid-aggression coming out of Full Sense, though. Patman isolated for the time being. They can't swing deep into him, though. Udaton is further back. And now rotating in his Autumn as well. So there's backup as they look to finish their dinner. Very nicely done by GE. And now all we have to do is avoid Primi getting an ace. Has an updraft to go over this wall. It's exactly what he goes for. There's the first. I'm already a little bit worried. But now, please just take the shot. Please just take the shot, Autumn. Thank you. Thank you, because that could have gotten out of control.
They were waiting to make sure that Crystal could get the plant. It's actually very clever. I understand why we're all just panicking, going like, we don't want to do that just because if he turns around and just takes your head off, you're going to look like a fool. But that's actually very clever orb management from Global Esports.
Yeah, very nicely done. I just think letting Primi live an extra second. There might be more orbs found, but it might be for him.
But also, all jokes aside, if you play that scared against him, you've already lost the game.
100%, 100%. They did the right thing. It just made me very, very nervous.
You're clenched.
A 2-1. Early half goes the way that you think it should. And now GE. Hunter's Fury online. Crystal sends in the drone right away. That could be go time for it. Mid-split, though, from GE. Already with so much control. They should be aware of this on the other side, but with a Sage Wall blocking them off, those players on site are completely isolated. A wall of their own has bought them a bit more time, a bit more space to fight from. Now their teammates start to get an angle, but the orb goes up. Jip Boy's good onto Udaton, but the Hunter's Fury causing all those problems in that little laneway. It's cleared out a lot of space. I thought maybe they wouldn't expect Cruz, but they dealt with him as well. GE. Now everybody's coming from this little choke point. It should be easy to keep them at bay. And with this late play by Autumn, it certainly will be.
He's had a decent start to this one, and at this stage, that operator walking back through, not really worth throwing it away. Well, for Global Esports, already having that decent recovery still. I don't think they're going to be getting that operator out of his hands. I like, though, that we are seeing like just slightly more direct plays. I think using that Hunter's Fury, which they managed to gather up in the previous round to just get them the entry in towards the site. And then also just having that very deep post plant onto B. Good execution from the side of Global Esports. And economically, it is actually going to put the defensive side in a bit of an awkward position here.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, obviously talking about how they're going to buy up around this, it's not an easy decision. There's so many things going for them. Having a res to bring a player back online, obviously the ult brought through. They can afford the rifle on Kahlua, but it would be such a mixed buy that I think they're doing the right thing. Primi can play Blade Storm next round if needed. Everyone else capable of a full buy with minimal investments. Kahlua, instead of going for the rifle, goes for the Guardian to make sure next round can still look proper. That does mean that what should be an easy convert for GE is on the cards. Nice start by Patman, but the trades come in quickly. All they need to do on GE side now is finish into that A site, grab the plants, and keep those fights nice and ranged. The only player that can really take him in those duels will be Primi, and he's miles away. And a res online too.
Whether or not, again, they want to throw anything into this one. Autumn, again, his positioning has been perfect over the last couple of rounds. Immediate trade when his teammate goes down in the form of Patman. catching players as they look to lurk. And once again, Primi has been completely nullified. Hasn't had any impact over the last couple of rounds because he's just not been in the right place at the right time. GE have done well to avoid him, of course. They want to try and remove this gun, and they
भाई
will
autumn
do.
chamber क्यों
4
खेलता है
players standing
इधर?
for Global Esports, operator out of the round. In full sense, they'll be coming up with a purchase, but I'm assuming it will have to be the Blade Storm to power
मेरे को भी भाई मुझे प्रीमियम से ज़्यादा डर लग रहा है. 28 kills है ना उसके last.
28. They've done a great job of avoiding him in these last couple of rounds, not giving him the chances to find those early fights. And now removing the op as well, as you said, has to be the Blade Storm for the next. There's not much you can do about Primi in terms of stopping him.
map निकालना पड़ेगा.
But if you can keep avoiding them like that, it means you're playing into the Sage, which, for full sense, hasn't worked so far. 2-0 up, and then a streak from GE. The control lost early. As we get into this, they'll be discussing their Coinbase win condition for round 6.
Well, that is the interesting thing. You look over the last 3 months, and this has not been a particularly good map for full sense. They've struggled. I think it was in the group stage versus T1. Had a couple of hefty defeats after they played GE, but the one victory they do have in the last 3 months is versus GE. So it was clearly one that, again, they felt like was a good counter in this matchup, maybe rather than having their own strengths. I also want to see more from Jit Boys in this game, because I think on the last map, with how he played a lot of that Sage utility, I think on Breeze it really does come down more to the timing. Obviously a lot more avenues, a lot more space to try and fight around that utility. It's not quite as close quarters as the previous map. I think this will be much more of a true test of what their coach was saying about his sort of intelligence on this agent.
After the pause, Primi pops the ult, follows the drone down.
भाई 9-2 चल रहा है 5वें राउंड में.
Slips through. It's a nice cloak and dagger play. He might even have gotten away with it too, but they've caught Kalua trying to contain that space on mid. But with him falling,
expect it.
This is the only thing. Door about to open. The wall's just gone down. Patman's even looking the wrong way. It's all down to timing on that mid fight. Autumn is taking down Leviathan though. And on the B side, there's a big threat. Jit Boys and Cruz seem to be dealing with it. Jit Boys up on top of the wall. Oh, it's a nasty angle, and he's got another from there.
What the fuck?
Left alone to take down 3. Spam decent, but he won't get to fire that shock dart. The Blade Storm finally comes
What the hell was that?
It leveled the playing field.
Well, yeah, question answered. Slightly different way to what I was expecting, with the slows being a huge part of the game plan, but this is something we've seen across quite a few regions, just having those boosts in awkward positions that can make it easier to find a lot of those opening kills. And of course, again, this just comes down to having that orb management, wanting Cruz to have that ultimate coming up a little bit sooner. The fact is that I think at least in middle, like what we saw from...
He shot you, but killed me.
That was unlucky. But from Patman, it seemed like they're definitely aware of some of the tricks. Like when that drone went through, he was actually still spamming towards the door for a little bit. So I don't think they were caught off guard by that, but just I think they were caught off guard instead by Jit Boys.
It seems like GE might want to go for a more direct play when we get back into the game. But after full sense being able to fight their way back into that previous round, Jit Boys having a lot of success on the Sage. It's going to be an annoying wall to think about now when the push comes to shove in the B play. And I like the idea, like I said, from full sense, sending the drone out, having Primi take the space on the back of it. Puts them in a really nice spot to fight for mid late. Little unlucky to lose Kalua the way that they did. He was obviously supposed to be point of contact, checking for exactly when Primi can come back out and take those fights for the Blade Storm. And because of winning that round, full sense come back into this with an operator online. And Primi, with that op, it's such a nightmare for GE early on. You almost have to play direct, because you want to use your utility to get around every angle. If you don't, you're probably using a player, sending them back to the spectator screen to trade out for the space. Primi's been unreal so far. Like that first map was lights out. He started this one with style on the Outlaw, and now sitting 10-2, the ops back in his hands.
Yeah, I'd say in a lot of buy rounds though, the man to watch has been Autumn. I think his lurk plays and positioning have made things a little bit more difficult. They're going to come in with 4 ultimates as well on the Global Esports side, so a chance for them to build into a half that has looked good for them. It's worth mentioning as well, it was their defense last time that they struggled on, so already looking more competent, and this A site seemingly going to go under their control with a Viper's Pit as well within the first 20 seconds.
Yeah, Viper's Pit isn't even covering off the spike. It's just covering that left side, making this much more difficult to get back onto site. You have to push left. You have to push exactly where GE are waiting for the battle. Paranoia is good to start. Reveal doesn't catch Abby, and now Autumn's able to step into the duel. The trade out, decent though. Full sense now, pick up the pace on the way back through. Trading as they go, but the pit is the danger. The problem is that the plant is not inside it. At least an orb to work with, and a snake bite sent in would change the game, but there's none to work with anymore. Time ticking fast enough. If they can keep those players away from the spike, a swing out from Uniton. Give it a chance. The Cruz might have ended at time, though, a little bit too low. He's got to run for the hills.
Yeah, nice post plan in the end. I think that Full Sense did well eventually to sort of clear out everything, like get rid of the pit. But the fact was, it was just the amount of time that was fought. Like
G का gunfight थोड़ा weak है.
That needs to be broken. Having a couple of players on contact, and then all the while still having those players ready in the post. And all the shot was needed was just to deny the diffuser, and Crystal does exactly what was necessary. 4 of the last 5 rounds now going the way of global esports. And you also have to bear in mind, they still haven't really used the ult. They just used the Viper's Pit in the previous. Everything else is still available.
Mid-fight for GE, same thing for Full Sense. Paranoia is primed and ready. This is going to be a big swing off contact. And that contact's about to come through. Maybe now it's a little bit closer than expected. They are right at the door. No time for Paranoia anymore. Drones already.
Bro.
He only wanted to take down the man in the drone, and instead he got the whole pack. Uniton is the last man standing.
I thought एक मार के भाई.
Great round from Leviathan. Yes, he threw his life away for it, but he got more than enough value out of that situation.
विनीता आपने देखा उसको Leviathan को?
For everybody else, but Autumn not connecting, and then everybody else just not quite quick enough on the reaction. A disturbance in their play, and very quick reactions. 4-4. Scoreline equalized once again, but the problem is, with how close some of these rounds have been, GE just don't have the economy. Yeah, sure, they still have
drone,
those ultimates, or at least a few of them to play with. But they don't have any guns other than a singular Guardian.
It was very close.
Still primed for an aggressive spot, and I like that they've given it up after a couple of seconds. This was the danger, right? If those pistols just come swinging out. Now Kahlua is in danger.
Nice shot,
oh, it's nice. 2 taken down. Uniton, the main one. That's the ult gone out of the round. Leviathan, though, doesn't expect the late flank to be coming up right behind him. So
nice one,
gets a freebie. It's a round from Full Sense where they're up against next to nothing. They go pushing. They give aggressive fights. GE, and well, the round's not lost just yet, especially not with Primi sitting on the site. But he's in a very uncomfortable spot with this operator.
Bro!
She's about to go, but
I saw that!
Uncomfortable, the plant position. Open to main. Cruz has been making this push a couple of times, so much so that all of the recursion. How is he still alive? He should have been dead to rights, but the pistol of Patman not so kind.
Tense 2.0 है ये Primi. Not gonna lie.
But you don't finish this man off, and he will punish you for it. Crystal left in a clutch. Hunter's Fury in a 1v2 would be a gamble. He'd need one of these kills first, and any sort of cross could be his instant demise. A shock dart would be enough, but it's not quite gone anywhere near. And Cruz, a big round from him individually. G had so much promise with the low buy, but it's Full Sense to come out on top.
I really want the replay to be 10 different angles of Primi just dancing around every shot fired his way. It's a Pulp Fiction scene.
भाई early picks निकाल के भी मर जाते हैं.
Ends up winning them this round. The tags were found. One more shot was needed, and then
भाई विनीता इनको sheriff चलाना सिखाओ.
Finish off their meal.
वही तो.
He is there to punish them. That's got to be tough for GE. A chance to
Rose
take the
deathmatch
lead
sheriff
here
practice
instead. Full Sense Now 3 out of the last 4 rounds going
और
their
क्या
way.
करना है? Guardian.
GE. This time it's a full
Yes.
buy though.
Yeah.
They made the last one
पहले
competitive.
शेरिफ
There's
करो
at
भाई,
least a silver
needed
lining
अभी
there.
देख लिया शेरिफ.
It just has to do
कितना
damage
बज रही हूँ भाई
mentally.
मैं.
Like you're getting in positions where you can win these rounds, and then just a few things going wrong. The contact.
Let's go, let's go.
On the fight.
Crazy.
An important
Autumn
man
for the
down.
reason,
Kulu
bro.
is gone as well.
Chamber.
Taken full mid control. If they go towards the B side, it would be the more stacked up. But if they do their due diligence properly, they may just find an open site.
There.
Stone's gone through and Jit Boy's
क्या
gone
बात है
curious,
उड़ो.
down and out. Cruz, yeah, good work to find one, but I don't think they're going to go push it into the pit anymore. Spike will just flee to the A site.
भाई ये पूरा घूम के आता है और मारता है.
Putting his pit into this round, gets nothing for it. Crossing on mid, gets
Not every, not every time, buddy.
Second time था उसका.
right back to winning
Yes,
ways,
not every
5 to
time.
5.
I think again,
Let's
that
go.
fight in the middle. Deleting the danger man, and then any reaction just very quick. Udatan's starting to really build into this map as well. You mentioned it, a quiet first one, but when you go back to their match versus Leviathan, he was a huge factor, especially on Fracture. And with Pearl, the next map in the series, a map where Global Esports have looked phenomenal. Always back. Oh dear! Udatan trying to get information. He's been eliminated immediately.
They saw the orb on mid here as well. No
कैसे
more
तू
noise
पूछ रहा है
outside B.
favorite कौन है?
Now it's time to connect the dots, and with that kill from
Premium.
Patman, Jit Boys knows exactly what's coming his way. The res might not get a chance to be used, but that's such a good bait. Jit Boys uses his teammates' TP as a distraction. And grabs himself one, back for another, and he's not stopped yet.
Okay,
Sure,
2v2.
Crystal takes that kill, but he's left to 56 HP, and Brimmy
Now,
almost takes
let's
on the
go.
off, and in fact, he'll wish he
Crazy.
did. It looked for a second like Jit Boys had done enough, but GE again fight back, this time for the lead.
Let's
I really
go.
am enjoying what I'm seeing from Autumn. I think one of
Can
the
we
criticisms,
have
it's
this
something
round?
You'll hear a lot from like the fan side of things is like, are they scared
Oh
of playing
my
against Primi? And we've seen over the
God.
last, I want to say 6 rounds, that Autumn is absolutely not. He's taken that fight head on. He is jumping into angles. He's swinging into the
मेरे को
battles
crash आ रहा है
versus
उस पे
Primi.
भी.
And if I'm looking at a
Autumn
lot of
पे.
the depths
भाई वो
of
एक
Primi has, it probably comes from the hands of Autumn.
एक बंदा था अभी दिखाएंगे शायद तुम्हारा लेट चल रहा
GE
है.
after losing the
कितना
pistol
cute था
now
वो
look
भी
to do
देखना.
the same that their opponents did to them. A climb back with the potential for a victory in the half. Bladestorm online, weaponry for the rest. But definitely still an advantage for GE.
That reveal's going to be broken, surely? No, in fact, it's just left. Unidon had already made it past. It gave some false security to those defenders. They didn't think that much space had already been taken, but that's how quick Udaton can be with his own wall to cover him. They've made it to the A site. Udaton's got another on back, and now Full Sense stalled out completely. They still have that res to work with. With the Viper wall up, that's exactly what they're going to go for. Leviathan comes back into the round. Primi finds one, but Udaton is third. With 3 more on offer, he's looking to find
let's
him.
say
A 4K for
4K.
Udaton. A man who had a bit of a slower start, well, he
4K.
showed up just in time. The lead is for GE at the half.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those games where it felt like GE needed
Woo!
to build up a little bit of momentum. And I think that Udaton has definitely been the player to watch over the last couple of rounds. Him and Autumn have been impressive. The question is, are they going to be able to build into something? Either way, let's check in with the HyperX player moment and Udaton.
ओवन क्या कर रहा था?
안녕하세요. 저는 글로벌 e스포츠에서 활동하고 있는 유도탄이라고 합니다.
Chat
되게
literally
이길 수 있는
इतना
경기였음에도
anxiety हो रहा है ना मैं ये अपना पैर से हिला
경기에서
रही हूँ
수정하는
ऐसे.
부분이 되게 늦었던 것 같아요.
Move कर रही
되게
बहुत
아쉬운
ज़्यादा.
경기였던 것 같습니다. 교전에서
लग
저희가
गया
살짝
वो
좀 밀렸던 게 아쉬운 포인트인 것 같습니다. 그런 교전에 있어서 저희가 조금 아쉬운 부분이 있어서 패배하게 된 것 같고
Leviathan are hungry for a third map. Their orders almost ready. Udaton! The human missile!
딱히 처음이라고 해서 긴장될 건 없고 되게 오히려 재밌고 약간 저를 게임에만 집중할 수 있는 환경인 것 같아서 되게 딱히 불편한 점이란가 그런 건 없고요. 국제대회 와서 다른 팀들과 연습하고 대회를 하다
Chat like
보면
कर दो चलो फटाफट इस
평소에는
बात पे.
볼 수 없었던 팀들의 이제 뭐 같이 하는 플레이들이라든지
फोन ही चालू
되게
हो
샷적인
गया
부분에
होगा.
있어서
Charge नहीं हो रहा है
조금
but
다른 것 같아서 조금만 더 적응하면은 완전히 적응 잘할 수 있겠다. 약간 그런 생각인 것 같습니다.
Well, the resurgence from global esports was there in the end. They've
गया
managed
मेरा
to find
फोन
themselves a
भाई.
2-round lead. Now we go to their defensive side, Tom. Where are your thoughts at? We've seen new ideas from Full Sense, but when it comes to GE, are you expecting this defensive side to stand up? Are we going to Pearl?
But that's the interesting thing. Like you look at the change of composition, and I feel like that Sage, okay, it gives you a little bit more of an avenue to maybe just section off some angles in your post plant, but it should have helped a lot more on the defense. Well, realistically, the Full Sense defense wasn't fantastic, and last time out, their attack was what was phenomenal. So losing the Neon, I don't know if it'll necessarily help them as much in this half, and I think for GE, sure, they had a really rough time last time out, but I think they're already looking a lot better than they did the last time they played this series.
Well, it seems like a third map could be on the horizon, but that's not our choice. That choice belongs to Full Sense at the Global Esports. For 7 rounds in that first half, it was Full Sense finding the pistol, but still trailing by 2. Now, the next pistol underway. Primi has been the star of the show pretty consistently when it comes to these. A 4K to kick us off in the previous pistol. At least for now, he'll avoid the fight.
They're going over. Trying to do it again. But in fact, it's only the one player that's made it over. The rest are wrapping back around. Even still, though, Harvey has got away with a kill onto Leviathan. Gives them the man advantage. Their opponents ducking in towards main just to try and have some semblance of space. They haven't been able to put pressure in onto the backside. Of course, that Sage wall was used in towards middle. The re-aggression from Jit Boys being attempted instead, though it is Primi once again. It was 4 kills in the last. There's an opportunity for that again. Him and Jit Boys looking to do it, but already onto the defusal. Patman sticks it to half. They now just need to clean up those remaining couple of kills, and in fact, they're not in the right position to deny this. GE can't just defuse in front of them. They will take home an 8th round, and even though everybody falls, it means nothing.
I'd love to see a telestrator from Mini on that one. Let me tell you, that was a strange pistol. 4 players on the site, but as the spike is being planted, they send 2 players back around towards double doors. And that could be an okay play, but look where the spike is planted.
Not wide enough.
There's no way that you can deny that. The whole reason that they got it to half and stopped was they're waiting for the swing from main. They're thinking someone's got to be coming, right? No, the whole squad was double doors. I don't know if they thought it would be a slower paced retake, but that was a complete misread. In Full Sense, losing out on that round, have come into this with, I mean, a bit of a investment. There's an outlaw for Primi. Everyone else rocking the pistols. Still some decent amount of credits on Primi because he was gifted that weapon. Crew's a good teammate.
I think he also just understands what the win condition of this round is. As many of us do at this point. How many can he get? How much damage can he do? Looking across, there's only one player that can actually survive a shot from this outlaw. And with him having full shields, he can survive a little bit more than they can. A jump up, swing out. I think he's been spotted and he's been tagged up. 10 HP. Hit by that outlaw. Surely at this point there is no more damage to be done. It's at least a pistol kill coming up for Jit Boys, but considering the post spawn and the investment from the other side, G handled that well.
Good amount of kills for Crystal. I think the defuse as well. Unless they're planning to give that away. So we're going to be making strides towards having
nice
that
one.
Fury online very early on.
Oh my god.
5 scoreline for GE. With how this started again. This has been a godsend for this squad. Remember, losing out on this map means that they'll no longer be facing elimination. They'll be tasting it. But each round here, a step closer to a decider, to seeing that Pearl for Full Sense. They're the ones that have to show us that they picked this map for a reason. As we said last time around, it was GE who decided to fight here, and based on what I'm seeing, looks like they're pretty happy to see this battleground again.
Yeah, I'm yet to see a reason why either side has opted to pick the opponent's choice. Adaptations Not working so much. Primy's just going to try and pressure through, and he's been dealt with because of it. An aggressive push through, but because Jitboys was able to get the res, he's going to bring back Leviathan. Of course, still some weaker weaponry in this round for the side of Global, but those two snipers, let's just say they can't be faced.
They're also most definitely not a surprise factor. They had the Outlaw in the previous round. One was dropped on the floor when they faced off against some pistols. You know that they're going to have at least one here, if not both. So Full Sense play this very passive. Nobody is peeking. The Sage wall is up to stop the push through.
G going for exits though.
And that's exactly it. G have acknowledged that they don't have any chances to really deal any death blows on the run back into sight. So instead they sit outside, starting out nicely with one. Full Sense have found a safe little cuppy to hide away in, or so they think. Great work to make this costly, and it almost got worse.
Yeah, they'll keep one rifle, they'll take down 3 players. Considering that a res was also committed into that round from the side of Full Sense, I think that G can be quite happy with the amount of damage that they've done. They're going to be able to come up with a full buy of their own for the next round, although the ultimates are not quite there. A fair few of them are coming online. We now look towards Full Sense once more. Is this going to be a momentum shift, or if they lose this round, they're going to be in a bit more trouble?
Full Sense are gearing up for a full-on A hit right away. Swinging into the angle and getting out of there was Autumn. He spotted one. Not a whole lot of information to work with. It's not going to drag the rotates just yet, but G have just pushed up in B main. Full Sense need to pick up the pace now as their back is wide open. Primy. Oh, he's dropped him again through the wall.
Thank you so much,
Devil made it away. He should be dead to rights.
Yeah, even still with the 2 aggressive positions, Reed was there. The TP even paranoid off so that Autumn couldn't get anything. Full Sense have done well to get in a post plant without really taking too much damage for it. You can even see some of the hesitance on that flank coming through from Yudotan. He's on a long rotation back, maybe hoping that they start looking back in the other direction, but instead, Killer has found a couple. Trade immediate from Autumn. This fight could be everything, and Leviathan will win it. That final trap play is a bit underwhelming in the end for the remaining couple. They were almost waiting for that. That was meant to be the moment the round flipped, but instead, that time has gone. The remaining couple of players will flee to survive, and Full Sense are going to turn it into a couple round streak.
Oh, it's very much not over yet for GE. They even get out of that round with more HP than their opponents. They were so close to taking it across the line. This kill is what changed it. He said it could be everything, and it was. Leviathan keeping a foothold for them in main, avoiding that flank that you saw even for a moment he was caught off guard by it. The timing, it took so long to come in that they started to think it wasn't a possibility. Picking that up, puts them within 2. Buy for GE is not great. Chances looking fantastic for Full Sense. They've given a gap in the wall. This is a sneaky play. They've been conditioning GE, and this time the wall is that little bit further. They slipped through it and moved to the B site, catching the rotations, leaving Javi completely isolated. The wall doesn't last a second, and Javi lasts even less. Oh! He's giving them a chance. A 3v3 now from a round that looked lost moments ago. G are back in contention. And I like that Autumn's not taking more fights, but a kill there would have given them favor.
इन्हां gunfight थोड़ी सी weak है.
Keep the players with the weaponry, but Primmy's timing here could be everything. One player looking away, the drone being sent
इधर
through,
जो
and that one's
manager है Indian है.
And he's not being greedy with it either.
Players
We talk about this man and his ability to run it down, to disrespect opponents, but in this case he knows how important these rounds are. They are not in a massive lead, but in the round they most certainly are. Patman to try and face versus 3 for him. Credits actually very low. A purchase into the next round might be difficult, but there is no weapon to be saved. Full Sense. It's like a climb.
That's 3 in a row now. That pistol round, the only thing that's keeping GE up there in the lead. When it comes to buy rounds, thinking back to the
दो लिए थे ना उसने तो.
Previous map, it was all about Full Sense until right at the very end. In the final
मंगाया
hour,
नहीं रे
GE
कुछ
showed up,
रखा
but it
है
was too
लगता है
little,
ना कुछ ना
too
कुछ
late.
काम के लिए मैं कुछ कर रही थी गाइस काम कर रही थी
We're not
इम्पोर्टेंट
quite
था
at the point where that's
स्ट्रीम से
on our
रिलेटेड था
minds
मेरे
again, but after this investment, if things go badly,
At the
maybe we
knockout
will
है
be. Autumn's denied any
हाँ
further control here with the op. Nice slow right off
Ball.
rip.
I was going to say, I wonder if after this one it might be a pause. I was starting to question if it would already be the case. Maybe waiting for the operator to be in hand for Autumn, but
ਉਹਦੀ
it
ਲੱਗੀ
hasn't
ਨਹੀਂ
found the
op
impact they desired. Heavy A presence from the operator, the Sage there as well. A lot of an almost 1-2 punch, the potential to aggress and then the potential to delay. Instead, they're really going to need that delay because already a multitude of players looking to try and split through in towards this A site.
Tags already. They know where Autumn is. They know where Happy is. But dealing with them is a completely different story. Autumn's found himself an easy peasy pickup. And then Crystal and Javi show up as well.
Easy
Last
round.
player known to be in main. Steps even heard now. Confirmation.
Sage
They've got
ने
him
भेजेगा
boxed in. Kalua saving this weapon.
Sage captain है
Is on what's on his mind, but he doesn't know how
Jesus.
tough of a task that's going to be. 35 seconds on the clock. 5 players alive for G.
30 seconds
Who, to be
left.
fair, don't really want to lose too many more. This being a clean round would help them out a
11%
ton. And the high-low setup in play guarantees
aim
it.
तो
Double
है
digits
भाई
now for Global Esports with a flawless round.
Yeah, I think again, just
मैच
excellent
और
performance
मैच
from
निकल
the
आएगा
players
शायद
of that A site. Their job was basically just survive as long as possible and delay. And I think Happy not
FS
only
ने
having
Nice
the wall initially
one.
that creates
And
a
let's
pretty
go,
awkward angle
guys,
to run
let's
through, but then
go.
the slows, and by the time his teammates arrive, it's almost just that little bit too easy.
ताई तो मैं
10 to 8. A break back for Global Esports, still 2 in the lead, but it's not
और
alarm
कुछ
bells just yet
look at the
for the attack
camera
side. Although this one is their credits on the line, seeming like they might just be going for an all-in on B. They are not sending anyone anywhere else on the map.
No backup plan this time. In they go. The pressure onto GE. Pat Men's already tanked
Push
2
करना
shots from the Under's Fury. But Uniton
ले
lining
गया
them up without even realizing. Oh, Autumn's desperately low. The HP traded, but if Leviathan gets greedy, he's going to be in big trouble. They're all here.
ले
The shot
गया
darts
मैं
landing
shocked
onto
that
Primi. A big pickup, not just to remove that player, but to buy that little bit of extra time now as they look for the plant. Leviathan knows there's an off on the other side,
Easy
but they don't
round.
seem to care. They're swinging into it. They're looking for the fight up against Autumn. Confidence on display. So close to finding the pickup, and in fact, Leviathan
लगा पहुंच गया
close in the end, but not quite close enough. 11 rounds for GE by the narrowest of
अगर आप
margins.
थ्रो हो जाता
He only had 1 bullet left. if he had landed that, it would have been one of the craziest
बैटमैन ने जगह ही नहीं
clutches of all time.
जल्दी
And he still seems to be laughing.
oh my god he's so
बैठ गया
That is a
I can blush कर रही हूँ I can get
seemingly a death blow.
और चल गया
11 to 8.
बिट रेट कट
And for the attack side, it leaves them with very little to play with. It's a death ball once again.
But just
All
I'm not
5
blushing.
players in towards this A side. Primi leading the charge with the Blade Storm. Already an opener under his belt. And I'm not sure this is the moment you want an Odin after Bristol. Man flying through the air would be scary. Already, they're going to invest that fight with Pip. They
आता जज जाएंगे मैच
lost a couple on the other side with spams.
The stun's gone in. No one following it up just yet, but that tag, that's crucial. He's dead to rights. Cruz had no chance anymore, and the Blade Storm won't last long. Leviathan, almost the hero of the previous round, but he hasn't got it in him again. 12 now for Global Esports. It's overtime or all the way to Pearl.
They've looked a lot more confident on this map. I think across the board, Yuda
Bro.
has had his moments, no doubt.
last kill Autumn का ही होता है तुम
It's
लोग
in a lot
देखो
from Autumn all the way through the map. Crystal as well. And on the other side of things, there was a hot start from Primi, but the moments have now been few and far between. 4 rounds in a row needed. Well, they're coming in with a res, but they used a lot of their ultimates over
He's
the
also
last couple
very
of rounds. The
peace
Hunter's
fence.
Fury that seemingly didn't do too much. The Blade Storm in the last.
bro that Autumn is so cute
Already.
that guy
Silencer on this time.
It does help. It does help.
G or FS? GE, bhai. GE for sure, for real, bhai. There is no other team.
Well, that wall's not lasting long. But Full Sense don't intend to just go sprinting through. They've avoided the spam early on. Broken the Sage wall already. Not a bad start to the attack side. Now they've fully cleared out middle. The one thing they don't know is that GE have taken all this space on B. Full control of B main.
Batman gaya.
Up behind, but Cruz has caught
Overpicked.
Batman. Even with all that B information, they go for aggro on mid. That's why. Has at least traded it out.
Oh my god.
It's taken out.
Are you for real? What?
Viper as well. Crossing into this site now becomes so much more difficult. Instead, they have to fight. They have to go aggressively. Primi's going to be brought back, and he just about survives the shock dart. It's not quite going to finish him off. However, looking for a little bit more overdrive. Maybe there to close out this map. Only one standing, and
Crazy.
Done yet. They may have lost their map choice, but now they've won their opponents.
They lost their map choice 13-9.
Crazy निकाल दिए ये मैच तो.
Oh my god.
तुमने देखा उसको उडो को एंड में.
Yes, 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 yes.
We go all
Crazy.
the way to Pearl. We'll find out how this story ends. Who's going back to Pacific a little early after the break.
Autumn, autumn.
Oh, last वाला हाँ semi-final से.
यार मैं नहीं रो रही guys, मैं नहीं रो रही. I'm not crying. और तुमको देख के फ्लश कर सबसे जीत रहे हैं. Let's go जी. Yeah, I mean, he's cute.
नहीं पर्ल है. रेक्स थोड़ी है. अब
Bro.
अब तो पर्ल है.
ये सेव करके रखूंगी भाई मैं. हाँ. Guys, did I miss? Yes. किधर गया और तू? ये कितना क्यूट है. पागल हो रही हूँ मैं.
हाँ वो किधर रखा बट मुझे तो ही चाहिए तक. टिकेगा नहीं.
सुन रही हूँ मैं बैकग्राउंड में म्यूजिक चालू है ना इधर. ब्रो कितना मस्त खेला भाई हम लोगों ने, स्पेशली ऑटम ने. बहुत प्यारा खेला है, बहुत प्यारा खेला, बहुत प्यारा. गाइस पोल भी जीतने वाले हैं. पोल इज आवर मैप. जीतने वाले हम लोग पोल. और बताओ चैट क्या चल रहा है. क्या हुआ प्रिंस? चैट अभी तक लाइक्स क्यों नहीं हुए? वेरी बैड चैट, वेरी बैड. ब्रो तुम लोग सोच रहे नहीं होगे अभी मैंने मेरा स्ट्रीम खोला तब वो कुछ आवर्स पहले पीछे था, 1 घंटे पीछे है वो. और मैंने जैसे ही खोला अभी मेरी स्क्रीन पे पता है मतलब वो स्क्रीन पीछे था. तो कौन है? ऑटम कैसे है मेरी स्क्रीन पे? ऐसे क्यूट लग रहा है। चैट लाइक कर दो। ये बड़ा वाला क्रश हो गया है मेरे को उस पे। Why so? Am I cute too? Thank you. स्टार्टिंग से अच्छा खेल रहे हैं। हाँ मतलब वो एफर्टलेसली एकदम बेस्ट प्लेयर है, यू नो। ओह सही है यार। मैं स्ट्रीम पे ये हरकतें क्यों कर रही हूँ मैं? चलो गाइस गेस करो पर्ल में कितने स्कोर से जीतने वाले, बताओ बताओ बताओ।
Welcome back to Masters London. Victoria here, joined by Billy and Minnie, and it looks like GE is so fighting. They came back on breeze. We got a very different outcome than the last time these two teams faced off, and we got a full series on our hands.
Yeah, it looked like the fundamentals from GE were on the server in this map. Last time, I think that there was a lot of just mistakes being made. This time around, it looked like the GE who were fighting as a team and together coming through. It wasn't necessarily big moments. It just feels like GE are the kind of team that just win those just standard rounds. They get the opening pick and then it just like snowballs through.
We heard Frost previously speaking in that coach interview about some of those fundamentals kind of slipping away in map 1, but as you mentioned, Minnie, able to bring it back here in map 2. Primi still being able to put up a decent performance, but I think the main thing here was Autumn being able to shut down those first engagements.
Yeah, Utsum on the attack side was getting some of these crucial kills to just win GE the round. As soon as he got a kill, it just felt like GE were completely in control, but it was Yudo Tan that turned things around from map 1. He was going in, entering, and I think he was doing a really good job making space for this team.
Definitely, I think the complete turnaround from map 1, right? We came into this map saying keep your eyes on this guy because he had a bit of a quieter performance on map 1, but I think he definitely was able to come out swinging on this one. The Neon looking so comfortable for him, just as you mentioned, Minnie, being able to create so much space for his team and having the fragging power to go alongside that as well. We look at this 300 ACS.
We highlighted his debut in London being extremely strong, and I was a little bit worried after map 1. Highlighted a player who had a little bit of a pop-off moment, but it looks like Udatan is here to play, and he needs to continue this form if GE want to take Pearl.
Absolutely, but we also need some of the other players to continue to step up from global esports. We were talking about Patman earlier. He's still a little bit quiet as far as global esports usually performs, and I wonder what's happening over here on the global stage. He did mention in his press interview he wanted the rest of his teammates to step up and he would stop, you know, babysitting, so to speak.
Yeah, there's something that Frost said that was really interesting. That was Pat doesn't have to perform at that level for him to get value. And when I watched them on Pro, it was always about Pat getting great reads in their previous games. So I think if I'm Frost here, I'm going to Pat, I'm saying, look,
खेलने तो खेलना भी सीख जाएगी। Excuse me, मुझे आता है खेलना, ठीक है?
And the kills will come.
और हाँ, मैं अभी स्ट्रीम देखूंगी, अभी तो मैं सर्च करूंगी। हाँ तो सेंसो, तूने VCD का मैच देखा अभी वाला?
हाँ थोड़ा सा देखा। हाँ तो उसमें से देखो। And as we move into Pearl, this will be really interesting to see these two come head to head on this map. Now, Full Sense historically, whether they were Talon, whether they are now as Full Sense, are pretty strong on Pearl.
Primi को छोड़ के
Pearl from Global Esports just the other day, and it was shambles.
Dominant. No, they dominated Lev on this map as far as I can remember. And it was Crystal that was the player to keep the eye on. He was the one that was going, shambles for Lev. They absolutely dominated Lev on this map. And yeah, Crystal, the guy to keep your eye on. I think that he had a great performance on Pearl when we saw it in their opening game.
Yeah, usually bangers end on split, but for these two teams, they're extremely good on Pro. I think it was Big Time who even said that he thought that Full Sense was maybe the best Pro team of the group. GE though, extremely strong, showing it here at this tournament already, and even in Pacific, dominating it. So I'm expecting a banger series for both these teams.
Definitely, and both of these teams have liked to lean into the Phoenix double duelist comps. and it looks like not too much has changed.
I know we keep talking about Primi, but this is the map that is
मेरे
impressed
भाई
me the
मेरा
most with this
favorite वाला
map. When
blanket
he's
नीचे
on the
रख
B
दिया
long
था।
with that jet and the operator,
मैं
he
खाने
is
को
dodging
ढूंढ
all the
रही थी, मिला ही
util
नहीं, एक
and
ही
making
मिला।
it look
ये
easy.
वाला नहीं
It's so
पसंद
good
मुझे।
that
हाय
when
दी,
he's
हाय हर्ष।
dominating that space early, he'll just leave it,
एक
let
मिनट
Vice
दो,
stay there by
guys, मुझे।
themselves, and he's going to be dynamic around the map. So I do wonder if GE will have a strategy
क्या
here
लगता है
just to
इनकी?
avoid Primi,
कौन
because he
जीतेगा?
has been taking up most of the kills percentage for Full Sense right
Just
now.
avoid Primi or utilize that utility they have. Combine it, the Fade utility, the Phoenix utility,
सिखा
molly
दो
him out of
खेलना
those
हमको भी,
spaces,
मुझे ही
use
नहीं
the
आता
Astra
यार।
pulls to be able to get him off of those main lines with that operator, as you mentioned, Minnie. That is what they're going to need to do, is be able to shut this operator and sniper usage down from someone like Primi.
एक काम
Well, we have two teams, a
हाँ,
Thai team
वो
and
तो
an
पता
Indian
है।
org here for the very first time on the global stage. It's elimination. Who's going to continue through, heading towards playoffs as we send it back to our casters, Mitch and
Hi
Tom.
Nikhil, how are you?
Well, it was a long
Well
journey
done.
to make it all the way here to London, but a long road ahead of these. One of these
ठीक है,
teams
it's
all the way
okay.
back to
मैं
Pacific
तो सीख जाऊँ
for
पहले,
Full
उसके
Sense.
बाद मैं
They
सिखाऊंगी
started
ना।
this out with 13-9
Start हो गया,
domination,
full
but
start हो गया, guys,
especially
full start
considering
हो
how
गया।
the early halves went. She was on the other foot in the previous. Primi had his star map on split, but Udaton showed up for Breeze. Now all that's left is Pearl.
Full सीखना पड़ेगा यार
Full
मुझे।
Sense start on the defensive side, but GE, Orb on B.
Astra लिया इन
everybody
लोगों
ready
ने,
to walk into a
दोनों ने
wide
Astra
open A
लिया है,
side.
Astra,
Defense are
Phoenix,
just putting that pressure into middle. They've left both
Fade.
sides open, but timing this
Primi
over
तो
the top is
jet
going to be important. Otherwise, somebody will get trapped out, and well, they somewhat do. It won't matter too much, though. Autumn took the orb on the other side and now has ended up as a lurker. But he might be wrapped on himself. A wraparound from Cruz. Udaton very aggressive, but now being spotted, has to be careful. Looking to just try and retreat, but he's kind of left his teammate behind. Autumn now catching out one, and in fact a second in that mid position.
को देखो
He was
भाई,
ready for
Phoenix को
Cruz.
देखो।
And now gives them the man advantage, and that's the signal for Udaton to fall back. Even
Autumn है
still,
ना
though,
वो।
avoiding Primi, that a little bit more difficult when he's right up in your face. They have managed to deny the defusal though, and it wasn't half. And because of that, that time is taking
Autumn, oh my god.
to get them that pistol
I'm gonna
round.
cry,
And
भाई
GE
कितना
start off
मस्त
with a
team
bang.
था ये।
It's interesting as
कुछ
well because
खास
GE
नहीं
went
लग
towards
रही।
B, saw nobody there, nobody fighting long, no one pushing up, no noise in middle. And so they decide to go into that A site, no doubt from Full Sense's perspective, that's the exact opposite of what they want. That
Hey,
wall is
God.
there to give you information, but you're hoping
Let's
that they'll at
eat
least
global
send
esports,
someone
let's
middle. The problem was when they realized they're not sending someone middle,
भाई ये
they
बात
were
थोड़ा
wrong. You actually have a very late play by Autumn. Cruz coming behind. Like the fact that he was being flanked and gets out with both of them is huge. Closes out the round as well. That's a massive step up from him. And another orb for Autumn means he's one away from the run it back.
Oh, I think he will be getting in just a moment. We're trying to bait somebody in for the fight. Crystal has spotted them, waiting nearby, but it's kind of how many can he get here? Oh, they've actually all gone past him. Never mind. He's going to hear an awful lot of steps. Of course, only has a pistol to lose. That's why he's going to fight them. It's not the prettiest. A sheriff over to Primi, but it's allowed his teammates to get into a close
rotate
spot.
करके आया तो फटाफट।
Now it comes down to, can Full Sense do any more damage?
Bro.
Yeah, tucking in here I don't think is even about damage,
देख लिया
right? We
Jet
see
ने।
them in a
Eris
spot
Primi का
that
कुछ
GE
करो
very much
यार।
know they're in. No one's going to be running towards them. I think at least two have decided we're just going to go down to the spike. And when you look at where the orbs are at for GE, that kind of makes sense. Autumn doesn't even want to kill. He just wants to die so that coming into the next buy round, they don't even need map control. They can go straight for a direct play with the run it back.
मेरी माइक से
He has a
आवाज आ रही,
chance.
कौन
He has
सी
a real
आवाज?
chance to at least go down to them or find one. There it is. Run it back online.
X का वेट कर रहे।
जीत जाएंगे, मैच जीत
A
जाएंगे,
lot
don't
of
worry.
people going down to that spike in the end, but does mean that the next round is going to be an interesting one for G. How much do they invest into this one? Considering this will be their bonus round, you don't want to go too low, but they did have a fair few weaker weapons into that mix.
Taking that back. There.
The main thing, though, is, as you mentioned, Autumn with that running back, immediate space taken. It seems like they're just setting up for a very aggressive starting towards this A site, and only Leviathan here, but the rotation already in from his teammates.
Crystal's taking a lot of space. Has to be something Full Sense are wary of. They have no control over middle, but for now at least it looks like he is a dagger already placed in their back. They are none the wiser. Double doors is wide open. That's a perplexing gap to leave and to not even think about.
Free entry मिल गई मैडम.
The problem being that the player is isolated. Crystal is still in same position.
Oh, तेरी.
Same push. And where else could he have gone? What a mistake being made here, but Primi is making up for it. He's got 2 under his belt already. Chip Boys with another spike down right in front of them, but Crystal.
Oh my God, Crystal! Oh my God! Oh my God!
4 players off guard, and a chance for an ace. But it's Primi who stands in their way. He'll be put to bed. No ace today, but
दूजा सी का होता.
That's mental. It seems like the entirety of the round Full Sense were blinded, and one man's vision was crystal clear. That is insanity. I think it's because they see Jit Boys go through cleared that spot. He must have just run away, but the one gap that you didn't expect him to push was the one he already pushed. Crystal getting away with murder. I'm almost surprised. I'm almost surprised we didn't see a pause there for Full Sense. That is such a massive oversight.
I'm very surprised. I really was waiting for the graphic to pop. Pop up. That is insane. For him to even get the first was ridiculous. It's a gap that they left open, but the second, the third, and the fourth. Now he's got Primi. Well, it's a 3-0 start for GE against
Full push कर रहा है भाई ये
Primi's normally the saving grace.
Save round है क्या? Sheriff लिया.
Shut down immediately.
Crystal.
From here, it is a easy conversion, especially with Cruz down. Now you don't even have the Vice util to worry about accelerating the beam flash out of that smoke, and the world's your oyster. Might bother him with the flash.
Another electric start.
Too good, too good, too good.
मत करो निधि. Let them.
But this is already feeling different. Autumn on point. Crystal was highlighted on the desk last time out playing this versus Leviathan 21 and 10. And again, they had a lights out attack side for Full Sense. We're already going to be starting to ask the question. Why did they pick Breeze and why did they take it here? Doesn't turn around at some point. And already Autumn once again, of course, he's going to keep pushing this. He wants to try and earn up as many orbs as humanly possible. They are losing players along the way, but that ultimate is worth its weight in gold. This now becomes dangerous, though, more than dangerous. The problem, though, is that timer. He is just trying to stick it over the line. There's no way, surely no. Thank you, Heavy, for stopping that. For a second, I thought they would just throw it.
I think it's more so thank you to whoever said no, bro. I think he has that. I think he might have enough time. That was close, but not quite close enough. It's something we talked about the other day, right? When you're already dominating, when you're already winning, sometimes you play that little bit looser, you make those mistakes, and in this round, I think that's what we saw. Playing for the orbs, playing to take those kills, and then realizing, oh, we could lose this round. They got there in the end. And now we see the timeout from Full Sense. They are feeling the pressure. This is a good moment, though. If that had been just a blowout of a round, the vibe of this timeout's a little bit different, but right there, that's a little injection of energy into the Full Sense side to at least grab a couple as the round closed out.
Of course. The Coinbase win condition. Primi's operator on.
निधि आपको भी एक दिन उधर जगह मिलेगी. वो पीछे खड़े रहते हैं ना.
But a very different role while playing this duelist. And already entering Struggle City.
खेलूंगी मैं एक दिन.
On this defensive side, GE play a great attack side, even if there's a few blips on the radar. The problem, though, for Full Sense and why this time out come through is this is elimination. They might have beaten GE on a regional stage. When it comes to globals, this is what matters most. One team will be finishing in that joint last position. The other goes marching on with a chance still to make it to the playoffs.
Crop. कोई clip नहीं करेगा.
Timeout. Full Sense come in, up on Primi. He's on the A side. And that's exactly where they're speeding up towards.
What?
Now, in fact, they're right on his tail, but fearless is Primi. He swings into that angle, takes on him, goes back for more.
Bro, Primi.
And a 5 versus 3.
फिर से
Well,
op
I
निकाल
would
लिया.
expect to see much more aggression now from Full Sense.
पसंद आया तो हार
Everything's
जाएंगे
going
मेरे
their way.
मैच से
Only
अच्छा
downside is
ऐसे
they
ही ठीक है
connected 4 over on this
After
side.
match देख.
This is
After
leaving a
match
lot of pressure on Cruz. He has his wall to cover that gap
एक
in
टीम
the
की
double
पिछली
doors.
लड़की
It's good that they
कौन
filled
है
in that
प्लेयर
gap, I
क्या
suppose. Can't see
देखो
that
ना
being
सबसे
played
पहले मर गया ऑटम.
Then it's util to play behind on B at least, but honestly surprised to see them even still pushing.
Also disjointed. Jitboy still fighting, Killer falling back, clearly having different ideas, and you know what, everybody misses sometimes.
That wall almost
उधर
saved
से
him
वो
as well.
प्रीमी
Getting a
करेगा
little
पुश
kind of harder to hit. Full Sense.
गंदा है
4
प्रीमी
versus
तो
2.
भाई.
Lockdown still to play against, but no issues. Love this reposition from Cruz as well. They know they're coming from lane, so up go the Thorns, and he goes long.
Oh, nice shot.
I liked it because he was containing information, but now he's swung in.
Given an opportunity. Lockdown now online for Crystal.
Where are you?
He's been phenomenal in this map so far. Still, a man advantage. With that operator. Now is the timing of the lockdown. It just knows that, okay, let's make sure that they can't even get to half. Activating those nanos, it has to be a push-up. In fact, they're just going to go running towards this, trying to destroy it. Instead, they walk into Crystal! Again, it seems to be
भाई निकाल लिया भाई जी ने राउंड.
He didn't manage the ace, but this
Ace कर दिया क्रिस्टल ने. ना ब्रो.
मेरे से लेट क्यों दिख रहा है
2x करो एक बारी स्ट्रीम.
What a crazy map from Crystal so far. You said it in the opening series, opening map, I believe it was as well. He was the trailblazer.
Oh my god,
oh
my god.
4K and an ace. Currently on this map, 11 and 2.
Bro.
That is a
Still on
big reason
fire.
that GE find themselves sat 5-0 in the lead. Full Sense have got to be kicking themselves. This was a 5v3, and they gave those opportunities away.
That should have been their round. From Primi finding
क्या
2,
खेल रहा है ये क्रिस्टल
he's got to feel hard done by that he ends up in a 1vx situation at the end. Leviathan, there's no way out of that. Even getting hit by the outlaw.
क्रिस्टल भी अच्छा दिखता है देखो.
It seems like G are just playing with the rotations. They've got that opening kill and then
और तुम्हें पसंद आया हमको.
चल लॉयल.
they're just going back the other way.
Especially when you go this way, you don't see any of that utility from Vice. So at this point, you know that Vice is probably set up on A. You pick B, you've opened it up, they're going to over-rotate. Now the noise is
nice
trying to make them think about going back in the other direction, but those steps are hurt.
खेल रहा भाई.
They've just heard a lot of them drop down, and Uniton swung into the wall.
क्या बात है.
And he follows it up with another.
Oh,
but Cruz
on the
answering.
other side.
This is far from a one round.
I think both teams are kind of lost as to where the other is going. You can see the defenders having to try and play both sides of the map.
Oh my god, what the
Feels
hell?
like it could have been a bit more simple, but
is this guy?
G have been trying to push and pull, and well, they're going to push straight into another Autumn. Another superb round for him, but it's on to Cruz. He's managed to dodge the running back. He's just going to go
1v1
towards it, and it's going to get him just as he comes back into position. A red
anti
sorts for Cruz. He hit the timing perfectly.
2v1 तो जीत ही जाएंगे.
Messy.
That was a confusing round to be a Full Sense player, I'd imagine. The double from Autumn should have reset them, finding a third as well, but in the end, great read by Cruz. He'd heard Autumn round by and realizes he can just about catch him in the ult. It's a devastating blow in the round, but Global Esports still have such a big lead. A Red Bull clutch gets them their first round on the side of Full Sense. But they are far from out of the woods. The credits still extremely low on a lot of these players, and GE could use this as an economic reset.
Yeah, it feels like that round was overcomplicated by Global Esports. You look at the beginning, they sold a perfect fake, but then tried to re-fake the fake, re-hit the hit, and it ended up messy. Is that sign of things to come?
G खत्म हो
They
गया.
return straight back to prominence. Ults on either side.
मेरे इसमें बहुत लेट क्यों दिखा रहा है? I don't know. मैंने refresh भी किया.
Jitboys, if he could
2x
find the
करो ना
position, but
नीचे
it has
से.
been a tougher game for him so far.
This is a really nice setup. Primmy's keeping A main control. Even if he dies, they get to delay a little bit longer with the Thorns and wrap back in, but it's on double doors.
नीचे देखो settings पे दबा के playback
eat this for dinner. Oh man, it's a 3-course meal.
Guys, थोड़ा सा on time आने दो.
The A site now under heavy threat. At least Udaton's going to be isolated when he goes through that. Oh no, he spotted it in time.
हाँ वो थोड़ा सा अटकेगा.
They trip the wall, they make noise outside A, and now the wrap back again. The double fake by GE, but it hasn't quite worked. Full Sense realized just in time that the play is still coming towards them on this B site. Goes to steal Garden as well. That's going to make it even more difficult. GE boots on the ground. Plant coming in, but they don't know about Leviathan. Now they do, and Javi's got another.
Mara re Crystal.
Primi, there's no choice. They even check in his back. They know there's been lurks on lurks. Late plays after late plays.
Primi भी थक गया carry करते बोल रहा अब नहीं कर
रहा. The trip of the wall, it seemed like Udaton wanted to go through it, gets caught, and then they just decide to go back in the moment. I think the Steel Garden was well placed, but Javi, being the one player that wasn't caught by it, ends up defending his teammates as they make their way back into the site. This time, the push and pull, those rotations working out for Global Esports, and Full Sense falling further and further behind. 6-1 down. A decider map that if you go looking at like recent results, you'd think they'd be mad to choose, but one that they've been very comfortable on themselves. However, unless something drastic changes soon, it seems like GE have their number.
बता Vapor बता तू बता.
The problem is this was Full Sense's opportunity.
Autumn ना.
Losing this round
meant
that their economy is shattered. But winning it meant that GE were in that same position. This could have been a 5-3 scoreline, almost guaranteed with that round win, but instead it has slipped away, and GE now have a chance to extend.
अपना throttle भी तो है इसके अंदर FS में देखा नहीं आपने?
On the side of Full Sense, the only man with a rifle is Primi, but he's here. And he's got more than enough backup. He swings in amidst the chaos. But
Bro,
they only lost
खा
a
गई
single
वो जी
duel.
starting में.
That rifle from Primi had a chance. Everybody was focused on a different player. Out he swung, and someone's ripped his head clean off, leaving Cruz alone. 1 versus 4. Listen, this clutch would put the win well and truly into Full Sense's sails, but we all knew 7-1 was coming.
I'm not
कौन सा skin था भाई इस पे? Bandit का.
नया वाला.
Times when they're walking into the stacked up site, they're
मस्त
still
है.
able to win all
Bandit
those
खरीदना
duels.
उसका
I think
तेरे इस पे.
Autumn is having one of the best
Professional gamer
performances
ऊपर
I've seen
से
from him,
cute
be it
भाई.
on the utility or just the individual brilliance. Him and Crystal both 13-3-1 as it stands. The next highest player on their team has 4 kills, so they are genuinely carrying the rest of Global Esports, kicking and screaming. And well, I think they are your Coinbase win condition with how things have been going so far. On the other side of things, I think that is the second pause now called by Full Sense. No more checking in, and we're only 8 rounds through. A much calmer looking Frost, and you can understand on the other side, a lot of tea to be spilled.
G के coach ने.
I'll let the fans at home have a little peek behind the curtain, because behind a curtain to our right is the coaching booth. It's quite a bit away from us, Tom, and I think you heard it too last map. There was a point where, with the headset on, with the fans, with the game sound, I could hear Frost shouting. It wasn't even a timeout.
देखो ये coach इसका FS का.
Mid-round, I could hear.
थोड़ा similar है ना. एक player भी है अपना G का.
What we just saw the coach down there is an Australian Frost looking, I would say years. It's a regional
Throttle आ रहा है क्या
matchup. Evidently it means something to him. How GE finished Pacific number 3. But now they are miles ahead of the number 2 team soon to send them home if things keep going this way.
You don't want to lose to your ex-team twice. You don't want to have your student becoming the master. A man that made a lot of promises to the Global Esports fans. A team that had struggled to ever make playoffs.
My ultimate is ready.
And I'm talking regionally. Now sit at a global event. Now look to take their spot that little bit further. And of course, with the amount of kills that Crystal's been getting, there's no surprise he has the lockdown available, a chance to clear out the back of the site, even having that cosmic divide. The one dangerous position is towards the back.
Let's
this
go.
Is a full set play. I like like this, the judge invested into just to take that deep control.
No one's quite going to be through that screen, unfortunately. Cosmic Divide giving a
जैसे
safe
अलर्ट
haven
के
for
बारिश
Unitom
की
for now, but
गोलियां
it's gonna fade
लगेगी
soon, so will that smoke. And then it's push time! The flash seemed good. They
नहीं
only
बे
get one forward. Pac-Man
गलत पुश
tries
करा
his best to pull this back into favor, and he holds his ground. Oh, running into Primmy's a mistake, though. The ult put through
Almost.
by Jip
Hey,
Boys.
ये
He's
Primmy का
already
कुछ
on
करो
the spike. He's
भाई.
gonna get it to half at least before he disappears, and that's giving them a chance
player
now.
standing.
Tapped again, but Jip Boys goes down. Crystal was camping on his ultimate.
Could he just defuse this?
He could try. But they're already going to be on him.
नहीं हुआ. Let's go. GE on fire भाई.
One side निकाल रहे guys. One side.
And there's
Oh my
plenty
God.
of this half still to go.
Again, I like the set play. You guarantee yourself a massive afterplant. I think Patman still had to do incredibly well.
He did.
Trading 2 for 1. And as you said, Crystal was just ready and waiting for his opponent. This map is one where
विनीत आज फिनिक्स खेला जाएगा नहीं.
sure you need to
आज Phoenix
just
खेलेंगे
fear
भाई.
GE. You need to fear him. 15-3.
Crystal पागल हो गया.
And it's actually scarier than like
भाई
Primmy was on
15-3
fire
जा
on
रहा है
one, but
Crystal.
individuals drop off. The problem is Crystal is playing the cerebral game better. He is behind them. He had flanks when he might as well have typed in all chat where he was, and they were still surprised. For full sense, this isn't a fair representation of how the series has been so far. but
Bro,
we were
BP
worried
देख,
about what
BP देख,
happened when we
BP
got
देख.
to Pearl. There's still
वही
time
तो.
to recover this half, but
Full clear
the other
side.
side of the map is gone.
The
and
fuck was
तुम
that?
बैटमैन को देखो.
Batman! He should have been in danger there. It was 4 players with pistols swinging him. Blinding him, and he
line
still
लगा
comes
दिया
out
भाई.
with
Last
3.
show, last show
It
बिछा
seems like
दी.
any danger in this round is gone already, and it would
Hey,
be
good,
dangerous.
good,
There'll be
good.
rifles picked up, numbers even, Blade Storm online. Instead, it's Primmy all by his lonesome.
Yeah, he now has to make a decision.
Bro,
of just
इसका
like,
ult है.
do I even want
There are some
to
chances
just risk
कि
the
वो
rifle?
निकाल ले.
Sure, you have the
Primmy.
Blaze Storm. It
एक
feels
दो kill
silly
निकालेगा.
to
इसको
not
diffuse करना
utilize
पड़ेगा,
it,
हाँ.
especially when you combine to the next round.
टाइम
but
नहीं रहेगा.
Let's be real.
KJ के util है, Astra के util है, Phoenix की molly
You're
है.
not
बहुत
damaging
चीज़
their
है.
economy enough to make a difference
Molly's
in this
बहुत
half.
end है.
And you might be gifting orbs over that maybe get an extra
नहीं
off
molly तो
online.
चलो है नहीं उन पे.
He's still going to try and maybe just show them that they should still be scared.
Ow,
the
what
fact is
the
they are
fuel?
not. Yudotan will put him down, earn an extra orb towards his overdrive. And 9-1
ये देखो ये जो
in the
दिखाया
lead.
इसको. ये भी
No matter
throttle
what you
जैसा है.
expected in this series.
Sorry,
Right
देखा
now,
तूने?
it's looking like an
देखो.
incredibly dominant conclusion.
गोलू बोलते गोल.
Full sense desperately need these last couple
Bro,
of
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, the problem is their grip on this series.
Jet का
Their
ult नहीं
grip
होता
on
ना
this
तो Jet
final
भी
map.
मरता.
It's tightening with
उधर
every
ही मरता.
round that they find.
Amen के बाहर.
Crystal still sitting 15-3.
Bro, ये लोग क्या
Two
ही?
players on
भाई
this squad
can we
could
get
have tied 3
13-1?
times. Full sense struggling. And the read this time early towards the B site, they stack up
Full
3.
buy.
Fnatic जैसा ना
Now
हो.
seeing presence in A
भाई
main.
comeback उनका भाई.
Exodus of the B site. They're
12.
going over to the right side. They're reinforcing the
12 नहीं
vice setup.
11
After seeing
ना.
that initial
हाँ
contact,
11
but
1
GE
से comeback
back
कर.
111
Now
111
fully.
comeback.
But they're making this look like, frankly, they're making it look like a terrible fake. This looks like they're throwing themselves at the A site with one guy going, hey, look, I'm here. So that they can then hit the B site. Here comes the Prowler, here comes the Noise, here comes Uniton. So now they go, oh, we were wrong. It wasn't B, it was A. No, it wasn't A, it was
The
B.
blue fake.
And now the spike is going into the A site. Now it's only going to be Cruz. But he still has his setup. The Thorn's not blocking off the main body of the
ये
force.
fake कर दिया
Uniton's doing an
इसने भी.
excellent job in selling that fake.
Yeah, they need to kill him clean though. Cruz is still here. He's still waiting and
क्या
all to
peak
just
निकालता
that.
है यार Autumn.
Genuinely hasn't been
Autumn,
missing
oh my
all the way
god,
through the game.
cutie.
A post plant. They even have themselves a nice
GE
ball.
का map है
How
ये.
aggressive they want to be. Deep smokes flash through it by that defensive side. Jit Boys has done well, but Javi does just as well.
2-2.
Evens things back up. Primmy low. Patman still just sat up close aggressively. A jump up here would
भाई.
seemingly
Batman के
demise.
kills है. Not gonna lie.
He's going to go in behind them though. He's timed it
I
to perfection.
told you.
First comes easy, but he's not going to risk it. Not going over aggressive. Harvey still just sat in the corner low from that previous battle. And
I told
Patman is
you.
there again. 10-1.
Nice.
9 more rounds and they're up.
Hi Darsh. अरे यार ये क्या है ये?
Position. And this third map is looking more like GE's map choice than any that have come before.
कर दिया.
You come in around 11, you're out of pauses, and your opponents don't just sell a fake, they sold 2 fakes perfectly. Hook, line, and sinker. Full sense.
Bro, I'm gonna cry now.
To the line, and now they are being hung out
सभी
to
कुछ
dry.
ना कुछ कर रहे हैं
2 rounds
इसलिए
is the
तुम
best
ब्लश
this
कर.
could be. And they'll start with 4
वो
players.
हर शांत बैठा है.
Guess where GE are? And they've just heard
मेरा
at least
तो
2.
naturally
भाई
निकल रहा है.
B मिल जाएगा भाई G.
Immediate
Let's
response,
go.
go to B. They probably even assume they're walking into the Vice setup, but Full Send's 4-man push where their Vice setup is. So this site is done. No defense. It's all for GE in the post plan.
And well, if you can't tell by the scoreline, those have gone pretty well already. Blue has done well. This time trading much more effectively, and it's going to be left to Crystal.
क्यों करना है
He's in
भाई?
no man's land, still in middle. An opportunity for them to get towards the spike, already looking to try and shroud his vision, but he looks to try and run through, stuck in the mud. Already that defusal is going all the way. I don't think he can stop it this time. At least a semblance of hope. A final round being picked up by Full Sense, but Mitch, they are so far behind.
8 rounds extra है.
They are
Chill.
miles behind with
Pistol
2
round strong है
rounds in the
इनका.
first half. It seems like
GE
Full
का.
Sense may be close
Ball
to
पे.
booking their flights back home. GE leading 10-2. It's time for the halftime break, but before we get back into the game, we're gonna hear from Jit Boys and Javi.
किधर है Autumn?
Here with Jit Boys of Full Sense. Jit Boys, what were the talks about bouncing back and mental resilience?
สำหรับจิตบอยนะครับอยากรู้ว่าแบบเราไปทำอะไรมาบ้างเกี่ยวกับการกลับคืนมาในวันนี้แล้วก็เรื่องของการคุมเรื่องของ mental ของเรา
ก็ส่วนตัวน่าจะเป็นตอนก็น่าจะคุยกันเองในทีมหลังจากที่เราแพ้มารอบที่แล้วครับส่วนตัวคิดว่าวันนี้น่าจะทำได้ดีกว่ารอบที่แล้วก็
पापा को क्या ही बताओगे रे Autumn के बारे में?
Alright, I just think that we had a very big talk
screen पे वही
last
दिख रहा है
night,
भाई.
and I do feel
सच में मेरे
that
screen पे
really
वही
had
दिख
an
रहा है.
impact on me. So I do believe that today
क्यों
is
तू?
really going to be different from the last time.
दिखाओ आप लोग को.
Okay, I wonder what was being
क्या
said, but
wallpaper
that's a
change
question
होने
for
वाला है?
another day.
Just kidding.
Here with Javi AK of GE. Now, Javi, you're going up against Cruz in the Battle of IGL today. How have you prepped yourself specifically for this matchup? And do you
Automatic.
feel ready?
पहले से ही है
I
ये.
mean, of course we're ready. We're gonna get our revenge.
Guys,
this time.
screenshot दिखा
Me
रही
and
थी.
Hector both coached us on how to play macro. So really, you just gotta know.
That's
With the
good.
mind games,
Screenshot नहीं है
which
भाई.
is true and which is
Screen
fake.
क्या है?
So it's just all about the info game, and I'm pretty sure we're ready.
Okay, so you can tell which one's fake.
ये डे से
We will tell.
Thank you.
Guys,
All the plane back
कौन
to
जीतने वाला है
Pacific is being
सबको पता है.
fueled. The
Global
question
esports
is,
जीतने
who
वाला है.
are the
That's it.
passengers for now?
There is no more
GE,
discussion.
10-2 up.
These matches,
They
but
haven't even started packing their
they're very,
bags. but
they
Full
are
Sense
very
चलो,
talented और
fan
उन लोगों ने यहाँ तक आने के लिए कितनी मेहनत की होगी भाई.
has been a devastating
Aim
conclusion.
practice, movement
But if they're gonna bounce
practice,
back, it starts with
blah
a
blah blah
pistol.
shit. क्या
And if
क्या
they're not
कुछ
gonna
नहीं
bounce
करते
back,
लोग.
it certainly
लेकिन
करेगा
नॉर्मल
ना,
सीखने में
Autumn.
मेरी जान पे जा रही. नॉर्मल गेम प्ले सीखने में मेरी जान पे आती है. पता नहीं ये लोग कैसे खेल रहे
just
हैं.
accepted
अच्छा.
defeat. So Global Esports looking to level things up between the orgs. They
Throttle
faced
का
in the
monitor
late
गया.
stages of Pacific, and it was a 2-0 with the same first 2 maps.
What the
They
fuck?
managed to take Breeze, and now on Pearl, they are
That Crystal
massively
guy
in the lead.
is like psycho of global esports. Bro, that guy, वो कितना अच्छा खेल रहा है भाई.
Start to this pistol
अच्छा
for
खेला
Full
उसने.
Sense. They've got a lot of control. They know there's a lot of players on the
Okay.
other side.
भाई जीत हो रही है भाई.
These fights doesn't look pretty. Javi's already got himself a double the man talking in the halftime about revenge, and he's certainly gotten his own.
बाप रे,
Crystal,
मेरी
the
stream
last
देख
two
के सीखे
alive,
वो लोग.
Crystal on full health. And Leviathan certainly anything but.
कौन है रे इतना झूठ बोल रहा है चैट?
चालू क्या?
और नहीं तो. तुमने दिखाया नहीं
बताएगा?
starting round?
Misread from the defense initially.
अभी का चालू हो गया.
हाँ.
Leviathan
मेरे को पता ही नहीं.
definitely thinking about that flank. Of course, there's been a
मैंने
major
just start
issue
कर रही
of
थी
this
ना.
game so
हाँ.
far as the players
मैंने
backstab
बोला
with
तो
the
क्या
back
निकाला
of the spike.
pistol round.
It seems like the players on G are just waiting. They're waiting for that plant to actually go down, just in case he's selling a ruse, just in case he's trying to get behind them.
Spike planted.
Instead, trapped within the smoke, has given him a gap, an opportunity, but instead it's the headshot through the wall,
it's 11-2.
Crystal once again is the one to save Global Esports. That pistol round will be going their way. And Mitch, wow, a plant and that many kills. I will be gobsmacked at this score. We don't see a force fight coming through.
They got the plant out of it. Even without it, you have to. 11-2 down. If you're not going to win a round like this, you're certainly not going to win the streak of rounds to get back into this game. Full sense, essentially out already for days. Numbered the final hour, drawing near, and the force buy will be pulled into play. All eggs in this basket. 50-50 in that last round, and that could have given them a chance. Look at the amount of specters as well. They know that there's light shields coming in. An opportunity to almost just spam that SMG.
Yeah, util exchange करते हैं लोग.
Ooh, he's just about going to survive.
That's
a really good combination coming out of the attack, but
बच गया.
doesn't get quite as much as they would have hoped for.
Cease था ना?
Damage, all being retrieved. Defense obviously not taking any chances with their own buy. Definitely having information of this split.
Flash out for Autumn. Oh, unfortunately, Primmy's already gone in. He's taken it inside
नहीं
the
बे ये Primi भाई.
Udaton holds on to control of A main. It takes away any sort of comfort ground for Full Sense. Instead, they have to fight for ground elsewhere. Space taken towards the defender spawn. They jump into the window, spotted. Javi won't get the kill, though. A lot of success for Full Sense in the force buy, and it seems like they've done just enough. They've come online right when they needed to. Crystal, menace to them so far, but his impact in this round is negligible. And Udaton, well, it might be time to save. Not because you want this weapon for the next, but more so you don't want Full Sense to have it. Third round, Tom.
I guess saving.
When do we start believing? 10.
It feels like, I think maybe a little bit earlier, because I do think that we've already seen capitulation at times from Global Esports. Again, I think back to that Leviathan series where they played split, they were massively in the lead, and then I think they only got one round on their defense. And that wasn't because it's a particularly bad map for them, it's just that they started getting in their own heads, taking too many risks. But maybe like 8 or 9.
Yeah, ये overdrive वाली bulldog क्या मस्त है. Bulldog और phantom.
ले रहे हो क्या?
Whether or not these are repeatable, also you have to look at their Pearl and go, wow, they have dominated teams on it over the last few months.
Just a top ray, basic top banner.
Versus Paper X, so they have beaten the best of the best. That's unfortunate though. A singular weapon that could be used in this round, and it's gone.
One man that could take a shot off Brimmy when he takes 2. It's a bit of an awkward fight. Batman with a chance. Prowler sent out. That's it. Yeah, he's going to be put in the ground right afterwards. As long as Full Sense can keep that up, at least trading, it should be fine. But to be honest, you want to see these rounds go by cleanly. As long as they can buy for one more round.
मैं तो कह रहा हूँ twice. उनके twice तो मरी गया है.
Needed to feel convincing, so it
साथ
feels
में खेले वैसे लोग.
I guess the other thing you can say though is just some of these weapons you almost don't want into the next round. When you're going to try and win that many in a row, I'm not sure I want to see a Spectre coming in for Kahlua. But at least for farming up those orbs versus Eco, that's exactly what you want. Leviathan 1 away from his ultimate. I don't think anybody would be saving a Bulldog if he was to go down, so he's just going to go and grab that. In a normal round, that would be a silly, risky thing to do. In this sort of round, it's not too bad for Crystal, though.
Nice.
Starting to build up some orbs of his own. Of course, that has helped out
Nice try.
It would have been insane if he landed it, but not quite there. 4 rounds on the board for Full Sense. Still, they need to double it before this gets interesting.
One day we're going to see the Odin bot to spam that wall. I can't wait for it. Probably not to any success, but around for Full Sense, indeed, a lifeline. Many, many more needed to go their way, but 2 in a row. Relatively clean. Here is the real test, though. Autumn comes in with a run it back. Rifles across the board for GE.
मुझे कैसे
Despite how
पता?
the first map went,
मेरे को भी नहीं
this is a
पता है, मैं अभी
completely
अभी
different
देख रही
story
हूँ.
when it comes to the buy rounds, or well, pretty much any of the rounds. GE have looked like the better team. There's been gaps there for Full Sense, exploited at times. There's been individuals showing up on the attack in the previous half. This is great though. Deep Prowler.
Full rotate करवा दिया.
They took the orb, they ran away. Full Sense know they've got a free side over there. All Primi has to do is sell the fake. And with the Cosmic Divide in play, him even just showing there is enough. He can back off now.
This is a great fake. G have fallen hook, line, and sinker, and they're only just starting to realize. And the best thing is he didn't even die. So now he can do sort of what we saw Autumn doing on the other side. Just have this late flank that they're going to have to try and clear. With him also in position and the wall not being tripped, they know that they're pretty much all coming in from a similar angle. He can even watch into mid. The run it back though will look to lead the charge. Maybe pad the gap, and already Autumn's got two. He shouldn't have got away.
Blind करके मार रहे हैं.
Strategy to perfection, but can they hold on to the round? It's not looking likely. Primi, Leviathan, make that just one.
Woo!
They sold their opponents.
Crystal, oh my god.
They look to see it all.
Bro, क्या रहा?
GE
नहीं बे.
somehow made that look easy.
जी कुछ तो कर रही है.
मैं हूँ ना, ऐसे कितना क्यूट लग रहा है.
अबे Aliyah भाई उसे तो. The first from Autumn got him that close. The wall allowed him closer, and the flash in, 2 kills into his hand immediately. And the fact that those 2 kills are traded out, but it's just his ult, so he's back in the round, ready to roll again. For GE, this is why it felt like an inevitability. Full Sense have to climb back through so many rounds, and even there for GE with 1 ultimate, it was enough to turn the tide, even without
lower
it.
lobbies के लिए.
If Autumn just ran in like that, job is done.
करनी चाहिए gold lobby तक.
8
मैं कहता हूँ.
in a row to stay alive at Masters London.
इसके पास तो मेरा वाला गार्डियन है भाई, मेरे पास सेम है.
अभी तो 2v2.
His life. 2 kills found. Blade Storm was picked up by Primi. It puts them into an even scenario. Patman already on a fast flank. There's no utility to stop him at this stage, but the positions, at least for now, are good from the attack.
There's still a lot of time for GE to work with. Patman slowly making his way down long. Soon the Nightfall can go in. This is the time to put it through. Prowler starts, sees one in the corner. Okay, no, now we're just going to launch straight in, but Primi has bailed them out again. It's a 4K with the Blade Storm to give Full Sense a 5th. 7 in a row now for overtime.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I thought that Yudatan might have just done it there and then.
That was so smart to play through the molly. They had no idea.
त्यांच्याकडे नजर नाही काढत रे.
Imagine a Blaze just feels like a cheat code. He's just got his 20th kill and they only have 5 rounds onto the board.
कोई नहीं भाई, एक राउंड ही चाहिए, इजी निकाल लेंगे.
और ज़्यादा ब्लश करेंगे, don't worry. जीत जाएंगे हम लोग. मैं हूँ ना.
Almost feels like he'd need over 40 unless the rest of the team start to step up.
4 players there. It's a great flash from Autumn, but it comes in a little late. Jitboys is able to punish. They know on Full Sense's side that there are numbers on A. Leaving is the right call.
बेचारा प्यारा Autumn.
Probably not where that flash was supposed to go. They will decide to, oh, maybe it was. Initially, I thought he was going to put it on site to sort of fake out, maybe just buy them an extra couple seconds, but it looks like he's going to hold the space late, and then they'll go back there with the spike. He can flash to deny any contact, any re-aggression. An extra Phoenix flash coming around. Well, they don't have the Phoenix anymore. So but a Prowler going in, something like that. Indeed, it'll pop it a little bit later. Very, very patient from this attack side. As we said, late on, they go back to A. But GE seem to have their number.
That's the thing, that when you're on the GE side,
No!
really need to rotate just yet when you're in such a low buy, but Cruz is
save round
quickly farming up those eco frags. Yudatan has been able to get one. That puts his ult online. He's going to risk it for a biscuit. Try and bring this round home with an overdrive.
Bro, Batman.
So close to taking out Cruz. That was 2 health remaining for the IGL. Oh, that shouldn't have been close.
Especially when seconds ago there was an overdrive fired off on the
Nice
side. Cruz is very lucky to be alive there. Full Saints continue their climb back. But this was should have been an easy round. The fact that they showed two players on that initial push.
तुमने बैटमैन को देखा 3K
The
उसके
Udatom was flying under the radar. It meant they didn't expect Patman to swing in like that. But as frustrating as it is to not get more from that situation, there are still 6 more chances for global esports to carry on their run here at London. To send home team to finish above them.
They also didn't throw in patterns off. They still have plenty to play with. Looking like a more direct play off the back of the running back. Where you can see the defenders are just trying to avoid it. Sitting all the way back. Is there enough time for him to find anything? No. Instead, Primi still in position. Weaponry about to be taken away at least from one. Autumn just waiting on the other side of it. A little bit risky, but didn't want to be caught running across. They're really trying to play ahead of this retake, but they got to be careful. The swing through only gets one.
कोई ने अल्ट कर दिया है
A more passive post plant will have to be taken here.
Yeah, they'd already used the Phoenix utility, so no chance to burn that lockdown alive, and now in goes the Cosmic Divide locked out. They've got to start making a move. These players could already be on it, but in goes the Molly. That's bought a little bit more time.
क्या diffuse होगा?
Top rope. He's looking to swing through, but the spam full blind, and he can't get the line. And
Primi भाई.
Bro, ये Primi को निकालो भाई यहाँ से.
A ways to go, but
Word.exe use कर रहा है.
Oh, we saw in the last round a little bit of frustration.
Word.exe.
At what point does the doubt
आपको पता है
start to
उसका?
creep in?
Yes.
They've just managed 3 rounds in a row. They need that total to go up to 8. But the one thing I said in the last round was, hey, at least they didn't use all those ultimates up. Well, Mitch, they have now. Everything is
भाई सारे
offline.
अल्ट वेस्ट हो गए.
And you can hear from their own comms that they're starting to believe in this comeback. It is the perfect time, in my mind, for a global esports pause. But I feel like if you're the coach on the other side, this is where you start going, hey, boys, you saw how far down we were. They're now calling a pause. You are in their heads. You are in this game. And for Frost, all he needs, a man who's known for counters, known for coming up with what can sort of solve an issue. He just needs one, and his whole team are out of here.
He's the man every EMEA coach dreams of being the man winning the counter. But with 5 rounds to go, he might not even need that. One big round from Crystal, and he's had more than a few. Fallen as well in this map. Patman's been there.
बंद कर भाई. अबे वो मैसेज आया था भाई फोन पे डिलीट कर भाई. अबे ये तो ऐसे लग रहा है जैसे कुछ काम.
One of those factors has to come online for GE.
भाई मैं मैसेज देख रहा था भाई फोन से था भाई. जी भाई.
Attack side.
कितने गंदे हैं ये लोग डेविल लोग.
One basket towards this B site.
Ashwin, don't be negative.
Seemingly underway for
अश्विन तो hater है all time.
अरे वो बोलता है नहीं मिलेगा एक राउंड जीजी. भाई हम लोगों से प्रॉब्लम ही समझते हैं. अभी उन लोगों ने क्या किया बेचारों ने. उनमें से प्रीमी खेल रहा है बस.
सोलो कैरी 4K मार रहा, 3K मार रहा.
The post plant already in.
इन लोगों में सब लोग खेल रहे हैं.
2 ults available if needed. This one's expected to be clean.
Great work by Jib Boys. Even the Blaze going up to slow them down that little bit longer. It's given an angle up top though. Cruz almost
नहीं भाई इसको कुछ करो यार.
Okay, but Primi's there to clean up.
By 26-13
This is starting to get a little bit spooky.
This was the moment I said. 8 or 9 rounds.
It is
मेरे को वही डर था कि इनका वो फनाटिक वाला कमबैक ना हो
जाए.
ज़्यादा नहीं होगा बस अभी ये लास्ट राउंड है देखना.
भाई भी तो होना चाहिए अपने वालों के पास.
अब है ना भाई.
Actually mad to look at the scoreboard and realize
निकल गया
now the top fragger.
देखो.
Like that's insane.
How
far behind that they are. The impact rounds that both Crystal Autumn have had. He now has the most kills. And the longer this goes, the more GE start to sweat.
उनको
game
लग रही
that was
प्रीमी हैक
done.
कर
Like
रहे हैं
it should have been over a while
ये जो
ago.
पीछे खड़े हैं एक जन
As said, all they need is one round. Their coaches had some time to talk. This was the round they were talking about.
This is a gap again. GE have given it, but they know that they have, hoping that these players keep walking through, that they can force that fight, but Full Sense have given it up. Prowler confirms someone's still around. Art's going to keep numbers from GE towards this A site. Full Sense are hitting the lighter side of the map. They do still have to go through Killjoy utility, but the way they're going to bypass
प्रीमी को मार दिया अभी जीत जाएंगे
मार दिया जीजीस बोला ना अभी लास्ट राउंड है ब्रो क्रिस्टल वन मोर एस क्रिस्टल
आई गेस 4
ब्रो जीत गया 3K जीजीस लेट्स गो भाई बोला था भाई लास्ट राउंड में मैंने देखा
Joined this team, not being able to play with his prior due to rules. He's now become that diamond in the rough, a man that had a phenomenal showing. So many high impact rounds, and well, I am sure that victory is going to taste so sweet for the side of Global Esports. The team that beat them regionally falls in London. Full Sense unfortunately couldn't replicate their regional success. And unfortunately today in London, only one from Pacific could go marching on. They're not through to the playoffs just yet.
Oh my
God. They left themselves a chance.
It's bittersweet for the boys to send home some of their regional rivals, some of the boys they're used to seeing week in, week out.
डिलीट कर दे भाई डेविल
भाई वो डिलीट नहीं होगा देख वो तो अच्छा लग रहा है वो तो
भाई ऐसा लग रहा है भाई पता नहीं भाई कुछ न्यूज़
भाई देख
अबे प्राइवेट में डालना भाई मीडिया में क्यों डाल रहा है भाई प्राइवेट में डाल
भाई सबकी नीलाम करते हैं हम ऐसे नहीं भाई सब
अबे तो मीम क्लिप में डालना भाई
This guy play again and again, and I'm sure many teams are going to start making that sort of question of whether or not we even go anywhere near this.
उधर से डिलीट कर मीडिया से भाई
भाई परमिशन नहीं आ रही तू डाल दे
तो मत डालना क्यों डालना तेरे को
In the end, it was crystal clear. Let's send this down to the Horizon post-match.
बंद कर भाई डिलीट कर
Crystal looks a lot shorter when he sat down on the stage. I'm just going to pat him on the shoulder.
डिलीट कर भाई डेविल अच्छा नहीं लगता भाई
If that's okay. Congratulations.
नहीं तो मैं थ्रॉटल से डिलीट करवाऊंगा फिर वो सही रहेगा
करो जरा मैं आता हूं 5
कर दे डेविल डिलीट कर
अरे कहां जा रहा है
our mental back, so yeah, I feel feeling good right now, obviously.
What was the moment that things clicked for you guys on Breeze? Because it was a difficult first few rounds, but then something changed in the synergy of this team. What was it?
I mean, we know we cannot be like play scared right now. We need fight because like for us it's super important to know like we can shoot back and we start shooting back. So yeah.
But Frost also told Jen Lee after your first map that you guys were making mistakes as individuals rather than getting things right as a team. So what was it about the teamwork that worked?
I mean, first map we don't communicate well between each other, so like our chemistry was not like perfect. But we fixed it on second map. We start like work a lot as a team.
Real,
so, yeah,
for sure. GE or कौन जीतेगा?
I wanted to ask you about your performance as well, because you've got many fantastic players on this team, but here at an international LAN, you have been incredible. Pearl seems to be your special.
विनीत एक काम करोगे
What is it about London that
वो
has
मीडिया
just
में
unlocked
डेविल ने
this
कुछ
superstar
डाला
status
डिलीट
for
कर दो
you?
यार
I mean, for me, really, it's not big difference like between
क्या हुआ?
डिलीट कर दो प्लीज
नहीं भाई नहीं
So
वो डिलीट नहीं होगा जब विनीत का मीम बनता है तो या क्यों नहीं बनेगा भाई तेरा तो बनवाएगा
Good food.
तेरा तो बनेगा
डिलीट कर दो भाई
Obviously, thank you so much for not slagging off the London food. Crystal, we'll see you play
डिलीट
tomorrow.
कर
Good luck in the
विनीत
rest of
डिलीट
the
कर दो
competition.
प्लीज
Right now, though, we need to find out
मेरे पे
who
नहीं है
Global
right?
Esports are going to be
मैं
playing.
रुको थ्रॉटल को कॉल करके यार को
अभी ये
And Nick,
कर दे मैं ट्विटर पर डाल
there are no regional matchups
बंद है
possible from these balls, are there?
Nope, not today.
Phew. Okay, so we've got that over with. how is this going to work?
Windy delete कर
everybody,
रहे हो या
so
throttle
today we're
से
going to be
करो?
doing the round 3 of the Swiss stage. This is a pretty simple draw. The only rule that everybody needs to keep in mind is that no repeat matchups will be permitted. In our case, the only one we need to watch out for is XLG cannot play NRG. If that happens, we will simply swap the matchup so we have a valid draw. And the order of this is going to go pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, and pick 4. So that's all we need to know before we get started.
ये vitality है
Well, let's
इसमें
get started. Get
भी
started.
video वाला है ना?
Very technical. I am not going to commentate the
कुछ
balls.
तो कर रहे हैं.
If only
Draw
GB was
show.
here. Let's crack it. And who have we got first? Global Esports. And the boys are still actually taking photos right now, so maybe they'll be keeping their ears peeled for this one. So that's our first matchup. We're going to draw the second matchup now.
Global
So
Esports
who is the other matchup going to be starting with, Nick?
क्या हो
Give
रहा
it
है
a
ये क्या हो
toss,
रहा है?
Give it a whirl. Give it a
Draw
crack.
shows.
Draw shows है ना तो कुछ तो
And inside the ball, we have Foot. So they will not be
FUT.
playing Global Esports, they'll be playing in our second matchup. So we'll pop that on the board. And here we
Guys, I want WGE in the chat and
Just
W
two
Autumn.
balls.
समझ जाओ यार.
Just two opponents to decide.
W
Nick
Phoenix.
grabbed a ball
W
and then
Phoenix.
just sort of turned it around the other one. That wasn't swizzling. That was ceremony.
What Phoenix? Autumn.
Come on, Nick. Oh, crack it. And we
कुछ नहीं
have
बोला.
XLG.
Chat. I didn't say anything.
So that is allowed, isn't
देखते
it?
हैं.
Yeah, this is
Oh my god,
Brilliant.
that was
He left me
crazy,
hanging there
yeah.
for a
Chat, that
second.
was
So,
crazy.
Global Esports, if you can hear me while you're signing those autographs, you are going to be playing XLG. I saw a look from Crystal. And then let's make it official. Who is going to be playing Foot for their survival in this competition?
हटा दिया है कुत्ते थ्रो.
And this one is going to be a corker. It is, of course, going to be NRG,
Time out दे दूँ क्या
the
फिर?
current reigning world champions. So good luck to all of these teams. Nick is going to get it on the board and make it official.
Throttle को call
These
करके
are the
बुला
two
ना इधर.
matchups you'll be seeing tomorrow.
Throttle
but
का
not
कुछ कांड हो गया है.
necessarily in
मेरी
this
screen
order,
देखो.
'cause Nick, you've got to go backstage now
Discord पे.
and work the schedule out.
Yep, so we'll get the schedule out as soon as we can, so stay tuned on social media.
Fantastic. You heard the man. Stay tuned on the Valorant Esports socials, and we'll see you on this stage tomorrow. Good night.
What the fuck? कब हुआ ये?
अभी हुआ है. मैंने बोला VC आ जा.
Hello,
पता ही
I'm
होगा.
joined by Autumn from Global Esports. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Only Aussie remaining here on the global stage. We saw your parents earlier watching, and of course we have to talk about the
Windy देखो कौन आया
before the
stream पे.
results came out. Was there a team that you were hoping
Screen पे.
that would have been drawn?
Honestly, NRG and XLG because like we're kind of friends with XLG and we scrim against them a lot, but yeah, also NRG.
Okay, also NRG.
Yeah.
Well, you got neither. I'm sorry. But any thoughts about facing XLG?
I think it'll just be fun. Like it'll just be a fun match. Like they're good. I think they're a really solid team, but it'll just be fun to play against like Raga and Happy Way. He's insane. Like, but I think we'll close it out.
Yeah, you definitely know the XLG players pretty well, and Raga has had some comments about his confidence. Do you think he's going to have that confidence facing against you?
I hope not.
qualified कर गई है.
कर गई
Any reason why
भाई.
you wouldn't want to play up against Foot?
अभी तो
You don't
बस
want the
अभी G
smoke
और
from
XLG
Soft and
का
Zeus
होगा
maybe?
तब
Nah,
जाके
just we scrimmed
qualify
against them, so I
होगा
feel like they
G
already saw some of our maps. It's just not.
FS कर गई qualify ये बाहर हो गई. FS बाहर हो गई ना?
And you know, there's
गई.
a
Eliminated,
side
हाँ.
of your teammates we have never seen
Let's
before
go.
in Pacific, especially from Euroton,
comeback तो हो
especially
जाता है
Crystal.
अगर
Honestly, I've never seen him scream the way he
मैंने
does.
तो वो राउंड पे बोल दिया था
And
कि
I
अब
feel like
तो
he's been very
GG है.
underrated, along with Euroton throughout Pacific. What is different here in London?
मेरे को तो पता था जीत जाएगी.
I mean, he's improved a lot from like stage
Bro,
kickoff.
that's
I mean, he's
cute.
improved a lot from kickoff. Like his aim has been
तूने
way
feed डाल
more
दिया Devil.
consistent and like confident in clutches.
ओए मुझे
Like,
तुम लोग
his
डेफिनेट
clutch
नोटिस पढ़ते
percentage must be
सुनने
so
दो.
high. He's winning all the clutches for us. But honestly,
Important
after
सुन
the
रही हूँ
first
ना मैं.
map, I said to the team, I was like, you know, if we can get
भाई,
Breeze,
तो क्या होगा डाल
Crystal's
दे तो
got us
अबे
on,
नहीं अच्छा
on
लगता
the
भाई
third map, and he does. He plays
ना
so
भाई,
well
अच्छा
on
लगा
Killjoy.
तू भाई, तू लड़के के सामने भाई
I'm so
अच्छा
thankful.
लगा
Yeah, that's
No,
so
sorry,
interesting
तेरी
because you know
PF
we've
की
been
लगा
मेरे
दी
से
having
यू
other
टीम का
other
रोल एक
teammates
मिनट
to
यू
see
टीम का
the
रोल
rest of your
ले लिया
squad
क्या
step up
है
and
तो
yourself
टाइम
as
आउट क्यों
well
दे
coming
पाते
into
वो
this event. How are you feeling and versus then
सेटिंग करा
versus
दी
now?
मैंने
I mean, I was, like, I
हाँ,
don't want to say
पापा
anxious, but just a bit shaky to
हाँ
like
तो
get
मैं
back on the
कौन सा
international stage again.
क्या
But mostly just excited to
तू
play.
दिलवा
Like,
देगा मैं आदियो
well,
से हटवा दूंगा क्या
it's
फर्क
kind of
पड़ता
like
है
sad
डीमन का
watching
ले
a lot
लिया
of the teams
तूने
play the
रोल
other events when they
नया
don't
रोल
qualify.
Yeah.
So just happy to make it here, but especially with this
तो
team.
बनाया है
Like,
मैंने
I love my
ठीक है
teammates
लिया
and
नहीं है बनाया
coach and everything.
तू
It's
कैसे
just,
बना
it's
सकता
so
है
nice.
Yeah, the vibes are
Administrator
really
करवा
great
दिया मैंने तो
amongst you guys, and I can see that happening and growing over the months.
कहाँ पे
Administrator
है
For
नहीं
sure. I
है
wanted
है
to
ही
speak
नहीं
to you about the kind of roles that you're playing
कहाँ
as
है
well. We saw you play 3
तेरे पे
different roles
एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव
today,
का
whether
है
that was a controller, sentinel, or phoenix on the last map.
दीपू
How do you kind of
परमिशन दे रहा उसमें
transition your mindset from playing a kind of
मैं नहीं
reserved
देख
role
रहा
and then moving into this entry role on the last map?
I mean, it's just experience.
अच्छा
I
लगा
think,
हाई
like, just,
हाईएस्ट
I've done it for a
रोल
while,
अच्छा
so I just can, like, I'm just better at it
मैं
than,
सो लेना
I
इसमें
mean,
तू
like
दे नहीं
the
पाएगा
average person, I
Guys,
guess.
सुन रही हूँ,
So
important
just,
सुन रही हूँ
just
मैं
experience playing it. Yeah.
Do you think Frost has a
सीख रही हूँ
favorite
कुछ
player based
म्यूटेड
on
है
who plays the most agents or who can flex across the
सीख
most
रही
so
है
he
कह
can
रही
run wild with the compositions?
अरे
I hope
बहुत
not,
अच्छा
otherwise
लगता है
I might be
उनको
playing
भाई
a different agent.
It is. You guys definitely are known for that. Moving ahead, I know obviously you'll be facing XLG. You know, if things go well and you make it to playoffs, which teams are you really looking forward to playing against?
I hope EDG, because I was talking to Kang Kang and I was like, you better pick us if we get through.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. So,
Yeah, you definitely have some history
Kang
over
Kang
with
है ना उसमें
the CN teams.
Yeah.
भाई
For sure.
मैं बस ये चाहता
And
हूँ भाई
your parents are in the
MIBR और
audience.
बस
They were just behind
GE
you
का हो गया।
earlier.
मेरे सब्सक्राइबर क्यों गिर
A
रहे हैं
message for
I support
them
G because
that you
I
Oh,
would like
love
to send out
them.
to the camera here.
भाई मैं तो
just
ये
love you,
चाहता हूँ
mom. Love you,
MIBR
dad.
और GE का हो
Thanks
गया
for
तो
supporting me all the
Devil?
time.
I see them waving
Well,
over
subscriber
there. Do they
क्यों
come
गिर
to
रहा
all
है?
your events? I don't think I've seen them in Pacific, right?
No, they haven't come to Pacific, but they did go to Masters Shanghai before.
But likes होते यार
Yeah. And it sounded like your mom watches every
देख
single one
लेगा
of your
तो
matches.
Yeah, they watch.
Glitch
She knows,
रहेगा
her,
I think कोई
she knows ball.
Yeah, they watch a lot of the games. Even just when I'm not playing, they're like really interested in Valorant. So
We should get her on the desk
they're
one
awesome.
day.
Yeah.
Break some of the plays down.
Maybe
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
will. Well, thank you so much, Autumn. Congratulations on the win today. So Full Sense will be going back to Pacific. Global Esports moves
Sorry,
on for
Gilbert.
another day. And everyone, we'll see you tomorrow for more Masters London.
हो गया खत्म
So are we done, guys? Are we done? मतलब अभी गेम खेले
लाइक्स भी कम हो रहे हैं साले तू ही डिस्कनेक्ट कर रहा है
Let's go. दो मिनट दे दो chat 2 मिनट दे दो Oh my god, इतना cute है भाई वो तुम तो डेविड
हाँ बोलो
गेट रेडी
हैं गेट रेडी
गेट रेडी क्या होगा
हाँ
क्यों भाई क्या हो गया
मतलब किसी को
हैं?
जीजू बुलाने के लिए गेट रेडी
अरे बस बस हो गया
और टाउन भाई वो उसने कितना मस्त खेला है डू यू इवन नो लाइक हैव यू एवर सीन मतलब छोड़ दे भाई छोड़ दे तू छोड़ दे
देखा होगा उसका गेम प्ले कभी कभी वो बहुत बुरा हकता भी है
ए जल मत चल
नहीं मैं जल्दी रहा
जल्दी
बता
करी,
रहा हूँ
बराबरी
मैं
करी।
सारी टीम देखता हूँ भाई सारी टीम देखता हूँ मैं ऐसा नहीं है
अश्विन एक काम करो तुम इतना अच्छा खुद का गेम प्ले करो ना इतना अच्छा गेम प्ले करो ना इतना अच्छा खेलना सीख लो ना कि तुम ही
अरे
जाओ
अश्विन भाई यार क्यों
अरे वो
बोल
तो
रहे हो
हेटर है
क्या
भाई
मजा आ
सबके
गया तुम अरे
कुछ
यार
नहीं
नहीं
कहते
भाई
भाई
वो हेटर हेटर नहीं है वो पता क्या है वो साला जिज्ञासा
बस
देता
कर
है
तेरा
इंसान
आवाज आ रहा है स्ट्रीम पे
अरे नहीं नहीं वो जिज्ञासा देते हैं कि मतलब हाँ मतलब उनको गाली दे उनको ना गाली
एक
खाने में जो
मिनट
मजा आता है ना
इस पे इंपीरियम वेंडल
हर
भी ले ली
चीज में
इसने
प्रॉब्लम है अश्विन को हर चीज में प्रॉब्लम है हर चीज में प्रॉब्लम है
इसने
अश्विन
छोड़ दो
भाई
भाई उनको छोड़ दो केला छोड़ दो
अश्विन भाई समझ सकते हैं
अश्विन भाई देखो, ना आप जलो ना बराबरी करो, आप कुछ मत करो, आप सिर्फ गाली करो। अश्विन भाई
That's
मेरे को
right.
कल आके इतना बोलेंगे ना, बोलेंगे भोसड़ी मत जाइए मेरे।
Chat like कर दो. Hi Demon
अश्विन
Slayer.
भाई ये आर्य
Hello.
बोलता है बहुत ज्यादा आपके बारे में, मुझे सुना है जैसे
पीठ पीछे बातें
ये
कर
पीठ
बोलता है।
पीछे.
हाँ बहुत बोलता है आपके बारे में, कह रहा है अश्विन ऐसा है वैसा है, भाई हेटर है हेटर। ये आर्यों को पकड़ो, बहुत बोलता है। उनको चाय पानी दे रहा हूँ मैं अभी, ले लो स्ट्रीम। ये तो कुछ आर्यो स्ट्रीम नहीं देखता कभी किसी की, ये याद रखना है अश्विन, इसलिए इधर ही चाय पानी दो।
आओ चलो चलते हैं गाइस।
I am so happy, पता है? I am so happy, so happy.
विनीति टीम के लिए हैप्पी नहीं, ऑटम के लिए बस।
Yeah.
हाँ मुझे पता है ना,
कोई
टीम
बात
को
I
विनीति
don't know.
साइड कर बस। मैं क्या ही बोलूं,
बस
तो भाव बहुत मारेंगे तो।
Bro, what the fuck just happened? चल ठीक है, दिख रहा ही
देखिए
नहीं मेरा
दोस्तों,
गेम
ये
प्ले.
1 5 10 20 50 कौन सा चाहिए इसमें से?
क्या
वो दिख रहा है मेरे को, ये 1 5 10 20 50 क्या है ये?
क्या दिख रहा है?
नंबर,
क्या हो गया उसमें?
नंबर चूज करने को बोला तेरे को, मैं बता क्या लूं?
500
500 नहीं है, 500 नंबर है ही नहीं इसमें, छी, छोड़।
नहीं है,
नहीं है।
50।
सेज व्हाट द फक भाई, कितना मस्त किया उसने.
ब्लैक स्क्रीन आ रही है,
कुत्ते का बच्चा यूरू. हाँ
ब्लैक
मैं करती हूँ.
स्क्रीन है आपकी।
अच्छा ओम, अरे ओजी आ गया भाई इन चैट, ओम वाघ नहीं, ओम वाघ, एक सेकंड नहीं,
ओम वाग है, ओजी थोड़ी है।
ओम वाघ ओजी नहीं, ओजी का नाम भी तो वाघ आता है।
वो तो एम ही है ना।
हाँ
अम्मिया.
अमिया,
हाँ, मैं लास्ट टाइम मुझे लगा
मराठी
ओजी आ
नाम है
गया।
उसका तो।
ए हट, मेरे को नहीं खेलना.
नहीं नहीं सो जाओ, खेल लो मत, अब
विनीत
रात हो गई है।
आपने तो
कृष्ण भाई चैट में नहीं दिख रहे यार आप,
टाटा हो गया क्या?
लेकिन हाँ आएंगे आएंगे हाँ।
ब्रो ये क्या खेल रही है भाई? बस कर भाई, रात के पागलों की तरह ब्लश कर रहा हूँ, हंस रहा है. मैं नहीं कर रही भाई, तुम लोग क्यों कर रहे हो? जिन्नी मैं पागल नहीं है, उनने तो तुम पागल आ ऑटम के पीछे. चल टेम्बिया. मिट्टी दिया मैंने, हट. सेज.
ला 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 ला।
यार ये क्या मार रहा है, कुछ भी है.
Oh hell no. Devil आ रहा है वेलो.
चैट लाइक कर दो.
नहीं आ रहा.
क्यों?
मन नहीं है.
आ जाओ.
ब्रो दो लोग 120 दिया मैंने उसको फिनिक्स को. पीछे से मार लो बच्ची. यार ये योरू को ही नहीं मार पा रही हूँ भाई मैं. ये देखो क्राउच करके मार रही है. कितने कंप्लेंट्स करती हूँ यार मैं. क्राई बेबी हूँ क्या? आई मीन हाँ हूँ. हट कुत्ते का बच्चा. हर बार आके मारता है. रोने भी लग गई है.
Shish.
हाय चैट लाइक कर दो. चैट क्या कर रहे हो? चैट लाइक्स क्यों नहीं हो रही ऐसी? चैट ए मैं नहीं खेल रही. हट. शूटिंग मी फ्रॉम बिहाइंड. आई डोंट नो. तुम आ जाते हो सामने तो मार देती हो. कुत्ते के बच्चे. चैट आ ब्रो नॉट फेयर.
Enemy spotted mid.
कौन आएगा?
ब्रो ये अगर मैं कुछ करता पीछे से मारा.
Is what I dreamt of.
Enemy spotted mid.
Thirsty.
We go.
Match point.
अब Sky. Hi Sky. Welcome to the stream. Attack shark का मार यूज करती हूँ मैं.
विन्नी के साथ अभी तो सोल रुकेगा।
ब्रो ये मिक्स मर ही नहीं रहा है भाई। Passion is real, yeah. फिर भी I love it. कुत्ते की बच्ची यार यार ये आप कितना मस्त कर रही है। Any tips for good aim? Deathmatch खेलो, deathmatch जितना deathmatch
Match
जितना
found.
Vandal, Guardian and then Phantom. Vandal, Guardian and then Sheriff. सारी गेम्स में एक्सपर्टीज हो जाएगी तुम्हारी।
उसको भी सीखनी थी ना सामने।
My father used to say, "A fight is won."
यार ये क्या है भाई? मेरे को नहीं खेलना इसके साथ, निकालो इसको। वैसे मेरे साथ खेल ही नहीं रहा है।
Fight.
But still.
Gotcha. Lo tenemos, hermano.
छी! नहीं देखा, किसी ने नहीं देखा।
Take him.
Bro, इतने सारे लोग आ रहे हैं, मैं किसको मारूं? शायद लाइक कर दो। बहुत गंदा सा एज हो गया मेरा। किसी जा रहे हो, किसी ना जाओ।
That was great. That was great.
Bro ये ब्रीच ना मेरे को बहुत ऐसे इरिटेट कर रहा है अभी।
मजा आया खेल के आपके साथ। Wow. अरे हुआ ना।
Watch your step.
भाई क्या कर रहा है वो?
क्या कर रही हो ब्रो? मेरा एम क्यों नहीं लग रहा है? वन टैप क्यों नहीं लग रहा है? भाई उनका ध्यान भी नहीं है तो भी इतना गंदा खेल रही मैं।
Hit them back.
Taking office door. It was पीछे एक रूम का मैंने दो पार्ट किया ये पार्टीशन लगा के and there is a washroom so it's a mini gaming room.
Weapons up, thumbs open.
अरे मैं वॉच पार्टी कर रही थी मैं अभी खेल रहा है। क्या कर रही है? क्या कर रही है? मैं इतना बुरी नहीं है मेरा प्यारी बंदिया।
Vamos.
Ario. Ario. क्या कर रही है ऐसी? देखी बच्ची स्काई.
Don't let up.
किसकी बच्ची?
कहाँ गए सब यहाँ सब गायब हो गए
सबको नहीं
तो
डाल
बिजी है अपने अपनी लाइफ में. बिजी हो गया सी लोग. I know it's me. Don't need to ask. आ जाओ Evni. What happened? मत जाओ.
जा रहा है.
गाइस मीडिया में कुछ पड़ा है जाके चेक करें.
Match point.
बोल रही थी ना.
मेरी थी मीडिया यार ये फिर से डाल. अबे गलत रोल दे दिया भाई. रुक जा अभी हटवाता हूँ.
अरे तुम चुप थे ना.
किसको दे दिया रोल?
अबे डीमन वाला हटा भाई इसमें से. डेविल से भाई
मैंने नहीं दिया डीमन वाला.
सारे रोल बना के बैठा है भाई.
किसने दे दिया इसको? मैंने थोड़ी दिया कुछ.
हटा उससे रोल.
भाव ने दिया है.
हटा हटा.
क्यों भाई भाई मैं हटाऊंगा तो मेरे को गाली पड़ेगी. किसने दिया रोल? आई डोंट नो. टोटल ने दिया होगा.
टोटल नहीं देगा
भाई. वही वही क्या कहते हैं लॉग डिलीट करता है.
ब्रो इतने सारे लोग क्यों मार रहे हैं मुझे? मैंने नहीं खेला. यार 55 50 55 50.
पार्टी कोड.
हील लेने के लिए जा रही थी धीरे धीरे. ऑफलाइन बंदे को नहीं मारना यार मेरे को. बोलो. ब्रो दैट सेज बिच.
ये कौन सी आईडी? अच्छा अच्छा.
उसको मारना गधे. पहले जाके चुरा ले. किल चुरा ले. तू आजा. कोई ओनली शेरिफ कर ही नहीं रहा है. तो 10 दिया मैंने.
देखो
हो 110.
क्या बात है.
लोग को तो मैं ही मारूंगी भाई.
नाइस यार.
सॉरी स्काई. गुस्सा आ रही है सब. मैंने need to go down.
नहीं दिया आपको.
गन
पार्टी
ही नहीं
कोड
निकल रही.
डीएम कर रहा हूँ.
हाँ हाँ.
अरे यार एक बारी सेटअप फ्लेक्स देखना भी नहीं डिस्कॉर्ड पे।
हाँ 1 मिनट रुक, इतना डीएम नहीं। एक 110 स्टार्ट करे, वाली जाते हैं 3 स्टार 5 स्टार।
पार्टी कोड दिया आपको डीएम।
यार क्या जंप मार के आती है भाई, पागल है क्या थोड़ी?
मैं भी कार फ्लेक्स कर दूंगा
करते सेटअप हो
घर
रहा
में
है।
और
ये लेने जा रही थी
सेटअप
ये
फ्लेक्स।
गाइस अच्छा खेल रही हो गाइस, अभी तुम लोग बोल भी नहीं सकते मेरे को इस पे कुछ, ठीक है? छी बे, चैट लाइक कर दो यार, चैट में बात करियो। दिल से नैना भरे समझे। कौन कौन आ रहा है कॉम्प?
अब नहीं बैठा है, आप आ जाओ।
काम क्यों नहीं है? एम काम काम दीदी काम।
मैंने तो बोला ही।
कुत्ते के बच्चे से कल कैसे? आवाज में लोग क्यों हंस रहे हो?
एक बार मीडिया वो सेटअप फ्लेक्स देखो।
प्लास्टिक वाला?
नहीं सेटअप के नाम पे कुछ।
बरोबर पार्टी में गई ना? अरे
हाँ
ठीक है, किधर डाला है?
सेटअप फ्लेक्स।
कार, एरोप्लेन, ये क्या चल रहा है? मस्त है तो सेटअप। मेरे को भी ऐसे बनवाना है मेरे रूम में।
तो पुराना वाला है।
और शैंपेन वाइन ग्लास से शैंपेन, शैंपेन वाइन है।
उसका
ये
नहीं
ऐसे बनाया है?
नहीं कोला थी।
मॉन्स्टर है?
नहीं नहीं कोला थी पानी डाल के
वाह।
कलरलेस।
ओजी को देखो, आराम खोर को ओजी को।
ओजी का सेटअप देखो, मैं डबल सेटअप।
ओ ऑन टाइम पे मेरे क्यों हो बंद हो जाते हैं हेडफोन्स? उसी किधर यॉट पे घूम रहा है?
नहीं कहीं से उठा के डाली
गया
है,
होगा काम से तो भेज दिया होगा उसने कभी।
कहीं से उठा के डाल दी रहेगी।
ये देखो यू स्पोर्ट्स का एरोप्लेन, एरोप्लेन
वो देखो
पोर्शे।
यूने को देख।
मैं अपना मेकअप डालूं क्या अगर तुम लोग ये सब फ्लेक्स कर रहे हो तो?
डालो कुछ भी डालो।
बाप रे बाप। मैं अपना मेक रुको। मैं भी डालूंगी।
ट्रिपल सेटअप।
सेटअप खरीदने का मूड है बट बहुत
ये कौन डाल रहा है?
अब चेक करो।
अरे यार
है लक्षा।
मैं डालूं
नहीं
फिर?
डालू डिलीट कर दूंगा देखना तुम लोग बस मिनी मत देखना बस
मैं तो इधर हूँ, मेरे को लीडर बनाना।
भेज रहा हूँ
लॉल मेकअप डाल रही है।
स्किन केयर है।
ओए वेपर जल्दी देख मैं डिलीट कर दूंगा
देख रहा हूँ रेडी है स्क्रीनशॉट।
अबे स्क्रीनशॉट मत ले भाई
चल डाल तू डाल।
डिलीट कर
750
अपलोड नहीं हो रहा भाई
ले लिया।
समझा तुझे
डिलीट कर।
अबे डिलीट नहीं हो रहा
विंदी आपने देखा?
क्या?
इसने
नहीं देखा
आर्यन ने जो भी डाला
क्या देख लिया क्या
डिलीट कर दिया। अरे यार
हाय लक्षा।
Match found.
क्या करेगा?
ये थ्रॉटल मेरे को बॉट क्यों बोल रहा है? बॉट एंट्री।
मुझे
बॉट की का नहीं मिल रही भाई। उसको कोई बोलो ना मेरे लिए।
कौन?
अब मैं
थ्रॉटल को।
देखो तुम्हें एक चीज दिखाता हूँ फिर। और फ्लेक्स देखो देखो जल्दी जल्दी देखो।
ये क्या है
मेरा बिल्ला।
उदय।
नहीं नहीं
ये इसको बिल्ला बोल रहा है ना।
पर्शियन वाला नहीं, क्या वाला तो भेजा।
थ्रॉटल चला रहा है भाई।
Match found.
अरे
क्या यार थ्रॉटल जले हुए लोगों को चला रहा है।
आयरन ने देखना क्या डाला है।
इसका गूगल से उठा के लाया है पक्का। वो ये क्या लॉबी है? एक डायमंड है एक सिल्वर है।
तो मेरे साथ यही दिक्कत हो रही है इसमें डायमंड वाले आ रहे हैं।
एक मिनट वैलिडेट चेक करना। भाई इसका एमएमआर खराब है भाई। ये थ्रो कर रहा है विनिधि।
कौन?
डायमंड वाला। हाँ थ्रो कर रहा है।
करो भाई मेरा सेटअप एक और सेटअप आ रहा है
एक और आ रहा है रुको रुको।
They have no idea how heartless I am.
को मिल नहीं रहा।
मैं भेजिएगा सेटअप कर देगा।
एक एक डाल रहा हूँ।
मैं कह रही लिखा सो जाओ अब।
तो ये
क्या
वीडियो
मार ही नहीं
देख
रहा।
एरियो
कुछ क्रेजी सा तो डाल दे।
वाला देख ऑडियो के साथ सुन।
डेविल किधर है? डेविल को आना था खेलने यार।
नहीं वो नहीं आ रहा था।
बोला था उसने खेलो की तो
नहीं
बताना।
बोला। ये किसका
Well, well, well. They brought along my arch nemesis, Sage. Just
भाई
kidding.
ये है
We're
सेटअप
like
लास्ट वाला देख इसने
standard
भेजा है।
nemesises.
मल्टीपर्पस रूम।
चलो चालू हो गया गेम। गाइस अभी बहुत हुआ, चलो अभी गेम पे ना। छी क्या है एवनी?
उसके ऊपर
यू
क्या बढ़िया सेटअप है।
और ये तो गेम प्ले भी वैसा। तभी सोचो उधर से निकल के आता है। इंडिया को देख इधर है।
अभी भी चैट में आएगा दारू देख के।
Going B.
Spike planted.
मेरा नेटवर्क क्यों जा रहा है?
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
हो तो क्या निकाल के ले रहा हूँ। है उधर। Bro, I'm pro.
Some more
Yeah.
of that. You're in the shade.
अरे यार सब एक दूसरे के चला रहे।
देखना क्या देखना।
यार मेरा पिंक क्यों जा रहा है भाई? कोई सॉल्यूशन यार?
ओडिन ले लेंगे हेवन के।
देखो मैं आया।
There.